Happy Monday. Welcome back to Retake the Week. It's been another 7 days, and we've had, well, another set of interesting situations develop, matches played, and events won. You're joining us as we retake those 7 days, discuss everything that is to discuss, and probably make a lot of terrible jokes along the way. We do have to thank, before we get into the main show, and before we start discussing, of course, the big green eagle in the room, the members. Now, the members get access to a bunch of bonus content. They get access to, most recently, the Sifo Prospects video, which is only for members currently. They also get access to the member Q&A, which will be happening in this episode. We will be answering questions that have been asked by my members and seeing what interesting insights we can glean from them. One question will not be answered, so shout out to that one person who asked a question so interesting, it's actually going to be in a different video. That's pretty crazy.
I thought it was a very controversial question. That's why it wouldn't be answered.
Do you even know which one it is?
No. I just like the way you framed it. I was like, what? What did they ask?
It's just interesting. It's not that controversial. It's just, I think it's worthy of a proper discussion that maybe even prepared for, which we usually don't really do. You don't even watch the games, famously, as all the comments keep saying. You've never watched a game of CS. You're just here making shit up. So
I never. I actually come from Valorant.
Even worse, somehow. Even worse. So yeah, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is membership. Thanks to them that this episode will be available to audio people. That's the Spotify, Apple Music type crowd. They get access because people decide to be members. So yeah, let's get into it. And let's start straight away with some of the less serious questions that we had in the Q&A, but questions I think we are going to take overly seriously, as we always do. So the first question is from Snay. It is, what is your favourite song right now? See, it doesn't have to be Counter-Strike related. I always make that clear. Most of the questions are CS related. That's what we're all here about. But this question is purely about music. Quack, I'm going to let you answer this one first. What is right now your favourite song? And inevitably, you're going to make this a top 5, so I'll wait patiently.
Yeah, I think I have to. It changes so frequently where I don't think I have like one which I always put on. Like it rotates between a bunch of different ones. Spotify seems to think it's Highwayman by the Highwaymen. You know that one, the super group with the 4 country singers.
I know the song you mean. I just not really listened to it that much.
It's a funny one, to be honest, just to hear Johnny Cash at the end say that he's gonna fly a starship just in a country song. I don't know. I've been listening to Paramore a lot this year, so I like a lot of good Paramore songs. Turn It Off is a banger. Break by Boring Brick has grown on me. Emo, I know. I'll just do a pop pick as well for those who enjoy that sort of stuff. Like Sarah Larsson's Stateside feature is really good with Pink Panthers, and I mean, yeah. Beyond that, I don't think I really have one, to be honest. Let's say Highwayman.
Highwayman by the Highwaymen, I guess.
Yeah, just like in 2026, I've added something like 250 songs to my playlist. So I can't really say that I have like one favorite at the moment.
Yeah, so famously, I am an album listener, which makes picking a favorite song kind of difficult always. Because I'm always like, I don't know, I've been listening to these 7 records. But I decided for this question, I've actually put a little bit of thought into it. A song I've played, or at least this plays in my head a lot and that I find myself humming or singing, is a song called A Home by Rivers of Nile, progressive death metal. So the fact that there's one track on that entire album that just, the chorus of it, the refrain of it just keeps coming back to me, I guess just makes it my favorite. Otherwise, another one is Age of Aquarius by Villagers of Ioannina City. I'm not Greek, I don't know the fuck to say that. You guys need an easier name. And then on the country side, so I listen to a shit ton of country. There's a song by Coulter Wall called Evangelina. I just love songs about, coincidentally, it always is about cowboys doing dumb shit for Mexican women. It just happens a lot. It happens a lot. El Paso, banger. Evangelina, banger. But like similar ideas. So they're kind of the songs I've been playing the most recently as individual tracks. But overall, yeah, more of an albums guy. Shout out to, I think the album I've been listening to the most is the Dark Tranquility album from somewhere in the 90s. Fuck. There, so much old death metal just gets clumped in together in my head. I always forget the names. And my Spotify isn't filtering by most recent listens, so that's very useful. The Gallery, that's the album. Been listening to that a lot, so yeah. That's
nice.
That's that question answered. Thank you for your questions, Snazy, and thank you for your continued membership. Similar level of
the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald needs a mention here as well.
That is an insane track. Like, I love that song.
I love it so much. It's so fun.
But hey, it's too warm outside to still be thinking about it. That's the thing. When it's still cold, it's still windy, it's still rainy. You know, the gales of November come hurling.
In November when it was the anniversary, the 50th anniversary, I think it was. Then I had a mutual friend of ours was visiting here literally that same weekend, and we were like, we are gonna drink 29 beers and then one more for Gordon Lightfoot. Just it's the What a track. I get chills when I listen to it.
It's legendary. But yeah, the second question is, what's our favorite movies / piece of media? I do like that kind of touch at the end, just to say piece of media, because I like
the latest Spider-Man comic.
It opens it up to that sort of thing. Where for me, my answer is going to be then, I'm not going to answer with just a movie. I'm going to answer with like, it has to cross different forms of media. So that's why for me, like, obviously as a kid, I grew up, you know, right as the Lord of the Rings movies came out. I wasn't old enough to watch them in cinema, but as soon as I gained consciousness, started interacting with movies, interacting with video games, like Lord of the Rings was a huge deal. The movies obviously have been my favorites for a long time. Love the books. They're completely different, the books. The credit, I think, the best way it's ever been expressed why the Lord of the Rings movies work so well, even for book lovers, is that they managed to create the idea of Tolkien. Like, it feels like Tolkien, even when it's just completely wrong. Even when that dialogue's actually said by someone else. It just feels right. But that's such an obvious take. For me, one of my favorite media sources, just in general, like things that are media, is anything to do with Judge Dredd. I love Judge Dredd. Informs a lot of my politics, to be honest. Just kill him. Just fucking kill him. Like, just kill him. Death penalty in the street. Fuck it. But yeah, obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration. But yeah, Judge Dredd has been one of my favorites for a while. Got loads of the comics, a few graphic novels, and the one movie, not the one with fucking... They've made two movies, technically. One with Sylvester Stallone, which didn't work. They made one with that legendary Kiwi who's in everything, but in this was particularly suited because he can do the downturned like scowl perfectly, which is all you see under the mask. It's just that fucking facial expression. He can do it perfectly and still talk. So it worked. Carl Urban. There we go. Just popped into my head. So that 2013 movie, if you haven't seen it, it's sick. They used like handheld, like jerry-rig cameras to be able to do like really intricate 3D slow-mo shots. It's sick. I'd recommend watching that if you're into any sort of action. If you're into any sort of action movie, go watch Dredd. But yeah, that's probably a more insightful pick than Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah, I'm a guy in his 20s. Like, yeah, no shit, I like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Good picks. This is a very wide category, I feel like. Piece of media is.
Yeah, that's why I clumped. I decided to take a pick that clumps a bunch in together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I like across media sources, it just has to be like Star Wars if it's all time, because that was my vibe when I was a kid, and it's still my vibe. Getting into some of the more grown up stuff, because there is a lot of grown up stuff. I've read a lot of books, because there's a lot of actually really good books, like novels. I've seen mostly like not new shows, but like new when I was a kid, like rewatch those, because a lot of those are actually surprisingly grown up, and then the new stuff is fucking horrible, so I don't like that. But Andor was great.
Andor was I'm gonna be honest, I was surprised by how good that was. It was one of those things where I was like, I expected the Star Wars dorks to have overhyped it, like they have a few things in the past. I watched, I was like, firstly, I was surprised by the pace, and secondly, just surprised by kind of the quality. So that's a valid take.
Star Wars dorks. There's two kinds of Star Wars dorks, because it's the Disney adults who overhype the new stuff and everything which comes out, and it's like, the lightsaber's purple, and then it's just, that's enough to like, Yoda is there, and then it's like, that. Yeah, okay, he showed up, all right, fine.
Yeah,
Glorpo Shitto makes a cameo.
I know one person like this, and I follow him on Twitter because we worked together, we were apprentices together years ago, so I haven't unfollowed him, despite the fact that he's a bit a bit of a Star Wars dork, and that sometimes can amuse me in the wrong way.
Yeah.
It could annoy me, but he is the kind of person who retweets. Like in this cartoon, you see one clip that hints at, you know, this character existing, and I'm just like, who cares? Who cares?
Club Shitto will return in Avengers Doomsday. It's like,
yeah. Come on, bro.
Like these kind of the real Star Wars fans, as they would like to call themselves, which I also think is a little bit of a meh moniker, but like the ones who think that
the
this
Star
is
Wars
commercialized.
consumers.
The consumers who want real culture behind it, they actually enjoy Andor, because Andor is actually a good show. I like people who don't even know shit about Star Wars can enjoy Andor. It's just a good show.
Yeah, fair.
Movie favorite Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes. Yeah, favorite Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back, and yeah, I grew up on Clone Wars, so it's got to be Clone Wars for a show.
I understand that. I think like a pick that came to mind, and I was like, yeah, if there was a bit more to flesh this out, I guess you could say, yeah. So I was thinking, like, there's a few movies that have been made off of the books of Philip K. Dick, and I've read a lot of those books, and I'm a big fan of them. For example, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was made into Blade Runner. Banger book, banger movie, nothing to do with the book. Hilariously, like, contrasting, like in terms of the atmosphere and the vibe of the two. Like Blade Runner, we inspired on this like Wolverhampton, like this ugly post-industrial world, and then you read the book, it's like, I've got a pet robot sheep. Like, what? But it could be, I guess, if you expanded it to all the works that originate from Mr. Dick, books and movies, there's a lot of adaptations. Like Total Recall's one of his books, for example. That one where Tom Cruise sees future crime, not him himself, but you arrest people for future crimes. That's off of one of his books as well, I think. So you could, I could argue as well that that'd be a solid pick for me, but yeah, just not quite there yet. Hasn't surpassed the others. It will soon, I'm sure. But yeah, decent question. But we have to now get into the part of the show that's a bit more serious. Quack. Let's put the Let's put the fun hats to one side. Let's talk about some serious problems in the world. CS Asia Championships. We begin, I think it's the best place to start, with NiKo.
Yeah.
NiKo played a grand final that a lot of people really weren't surprised by. Like, it's become a famous part of his reputation that he's a choker, he doesn't perform in the big games. And whilst that's not entirely true, like, you can't say going into every series NiKo's going to be bad. Like, in playoffs and big grand finals. People who have that opinion felt vindicated after this one. Because my lord, did he shit the bed. Like, across the series, he's a worse CT-sided player than Carrigan. Like, that's the indictment. Like, sure, the stats overall are bad, but the fact that on CT sides he couldn't muster as many kills or as good a rating as Carrigan is heartbreaking. Like, I really thought, because I'm a pro Carrigan to Falcons guy. Like, I saw the move, I liked it. I especially liked the Kioske angle for it. But I just thought it'd be a good move, that it would get a lot for both of them. Hopefully give them a chance to challenge at the major. We saw them in that opening tournament play pretty damn well, lose a grand final, come into this event with very little prac, always the caveat, but still, with very little prac, make the grand final again, weaker field, expect them to win it. And it goes down the shitter, despite Kioske being good. Despite m0NESY not being terrible. It goes down the shitter because primarily NiKo couldn't do a damn thing in his positions. Couldn't get anything working on any of his T-side plays, any of his CT-side plays. He couldn't get anything going. He had a solid enough nuke, and that's the one map they win. You know what I mean? Like, he's just not terrible on nuke, for the most part, when you watch his POVs. And they're able to get it done. But then on the following 3 maps, I mean, I watched him all the way through Ancient, and I was just like, man, he's just getting banged the fuck out. Like, the players he's trying to fight are in better positions than him. They're anticipating his position better than he's anticipating theirs, like, quite critically. And then in a lot of cases, he's just taking a 50-50 duel, and he just gets wrecked. Like, he gets wrecked by, I think this is actually from Nuke, he just got wrecked by Sadzin in a straight-up duel. Like, Sadzin one-bullets him. I'm like, it's just ugly, like, start to finish. So we have to say it, like, this is a tolerable NiKo away from a 3-0 probably in Falcons' favor, because on the other side of things, we'll get into like Latto specifically in a second. But on the other side of things, the team plays pretty damn good, but they're not untouchable. No, they're not unbreakable. They're not playing perfect CS, not literally.
God no.
So we're just a decent NiKo away from this being a Falcons 3-0, maybe 3-1. And we're not having to cry about it, you know? It's probably the opposite thing happening. It's probably the only unbearable person on Twitter like today is Thorin, rather than the opposite, where it's everyone's being unbearable about Falcons.
Yeah.
And he's running some defense, but primarily it's just people taking cheap shot after less cheap shot, but mostly just a bunch of cheap shots. So yeah, NiKo, massive disappointment, especially after such a semi-final. You know what I mean? Like, he goes into that series against m0NESY, bangs them out, and I'm like, I could never anticipate what I got in that grand final. So I don't know about you, Quack. I'm still optimistic. I still think they'll be better. I still think they have like a break coming up before the major. They'll have like a bunch of days to prac. They'll look, I think, better, sharper, and better prepared, because they weren't that prepared coming into these games. Like, Legacy had a clear prep advantage, especially just for them. Like, Legacy had more ideas, more gimmicks, more tricks. Shout out Art. He's always been good for that. But they just didn't look very well prepped. And NiKo shat the bed.
Yeah, I don't really have like a thought about like what they can do, because NiKo is the kind of guy like you can't count him out either. It's like there could be a different NiKo coming back. Like, it could be any given day NiKo could turn up and do the complete opposite of this. Just earlier this year, he basically solo carried a grand final where they lost 0-3, but he picked up an MVP, a worthy MVP performance for it. In Blast Bounty against Paravision. Stellar final from him, and like, yeah, it was an 0-3 loss, but it was close because of his performance. So it's, you know, that's great for them. But then like, that was just earlier this year. That was the first MVP we had all year as well. And like, NiKo's obviously still there to a degree, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe it is just like, because it's happening more and more often, where like, I can't, at some point you have to say that, like, okay, let's say that this is a slump from NiKo.
Yeah.
Let's say that this is a bit of a slump period. That's a period of a slump. How many more years of a good NiKo can you expect once he recovers from that slump at 29 years old? That's the kind of thing where, like, even if this is a temporary slump, it's not like I'm expecting him to carry on with like a good level of performance until he's 33. So then at some point, I genuinely have to question that, like, maybe he's just not that guy anymore. Maybe it's better that he just, like, okay, carries this slump into trying to be useful in other ways. Because, like, God knows this team has firepower. Like, God knows this team has firepower to replace NiKo if and when he does decline. Especially if you, you know, maybe if you can revamp his roles a bit, maybe you can find somebody else for TSS or whatever. That's absolutely something which is going to happen at some point. Might as well be now. Depending on how Cologne shakes out. But, like, I'm starting to think that way a little bit.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, I'm not too worried about a NiKo slump just because, well, I got the rest of this event. You know, he's a 142 against m0NESY.
Yeah.
Cleans their clocks. And then the rest of the games he plays are not, there's none of them that are particularly substandard. Like, they beat Legacy in a deciding matchup. He's above a 1.00. It's fine. He smashes as well against m0NESY. Like, he just played generally fine in most games. Played really well in the big semi against m0NESY, who's supposed to be like one of the other really threatening teams here. He's great in that game. He just disappeared. And that's one of the players I was hoping we could start relying on, just to be solid. I think maybe it's a case of he's still adjusting, because they have made some changes with Karrigan and Kyosuke, and Tessez especially has seen a big role shift. I mean, overall the team is different, so there may be some aspects of that, like his tempo's changing, the timings have changed, like everything he's supposed to be doing, he's now got to do it slightly differently. He's got to take slightly different positions. There could be some things in there that feel different for him, that can cause a little discomfort, and then, you know, Legacy didn't leave a lot of room for error in certain rounds. Like, there's some rounds where they played funky, they played weird. And once they've created 5v3s, which they often did, like you saw double openings in a lot of those big gun rounds, he's just in a very different spot trying to recover a round. And maybe it all plays a big factor. We can make 1,000 excuses, but realistically, you have to just look at the event in its totality and be like, this was the exception at this event. The grand final was the exception. We can talk about him choking. Right. I don't think we could talk about him overall declining as a player.
No,
That's, I think, it was a step too
It's-
far, given especially the year he's had. Like, he's had off events, but he's also had so many good ones that I'm still there on the NiKo is a decent player. NiKo is at my 3rd star, pretty damn valuable in a team.
yeah, that's not wrong. I'm more so thinking that, like, okay, NiKo's base level is or should be to perform in high pressure games such as Grand Finals, and this is the 2nd straight Grand Final he's had a performance this bad, arguably even worse in Astana. There, he was also outfragged by Kerrigan on the CT side. That same
Yeah,
series.
yeah. The Astana one didn't come up as violently just because it was
Against Spirit.
and they weren't favorites. You know, people didn't expect them to win.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah, no, I
it's not
understand.
good. It's not good. Like, then there was also like a decent event overall because he's a 110-ish. It's like cookie cutter in that way. When you
Yeah, he's
compare the two.
110 with a grand final where he's a point something, and that's 3 maps. So it's probably his average for the rest of the events like a 114. Like, again, if your 3rd star's a 114, you're
Pretty
cooking
good.
with gas. You know,
Pretty good.
When Tanir is a 114 with Spirit, we're like, finally, donk us some help. You know.
Yeah, but it's more so just like the grand finals are. For Falcons, I think the grand finals are the games that matter the most.
Sure.
It doesn't really matter if they're favorites or not. It's just these are more than pretty much any other team. They should be winning these finals, and then it becomes a problem when like one of your big, not necessarily one of your big stars, although he is, but like your franchise player in a way, when he's not really, when he's the guy. I won't say consistently, but it's 2 straight grand finals now. If this trend continues.
Yeah.
Then it will be consistently that him shitting the bed. Then it starts to be a problem. Then we might be talking about like a slump, even if he's good in the rest of the event. If he keeps slumping, if he keeps going down in grand finals, then yeah, I'd say that is a slump. But then we'll see.
Kind of hard to justify cutting someone because, like, you know, you're just not good enough in grand finals.
No, that's what I mean. That it's more like
You're a
just
top 10
move
player,
him
but
around.
not in grand finals. So we're gonna get someone who's
Move him
better
around.
at that.
Then I'm just more so like move him around, give him the Olofmeister arc, like sunset him. Don't just shove him away, but like let's give him a respectful end to his career, and then he will retire of his own volition at 34 years old after having served 5 years as a strong support player next to QSUK and m0NESY.
Slash IGL eventually. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus
Interesting.
Christ.
Interesting
Okay.
little event.
Yeah.
But yeah, hard to really have a full picture exactly what to think about him. But the other side of things, a player who had an absolutely fantastic event,
Again.
but mostly in a fantastic grand final. Latto, MVP of the event per HLTV, the top rated player in that grand final with a 152. And this is the other part of the equation where it's like, oh, I mean, NiKo shot the bed. It's like, if Latto wasn't the best player on the planet for 2 hours, like for the first 2 maps, he basically plays like the best player on the planet. Well, maybe arguably not on Nuke, but on Ancient, he certainly fucking did. Like, I watched his POV on certain rounds, and you're just like, that makes no sense. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, he anticipates where the next swing's coming from. His crosshair's perfect. He literally clicks as they wide swing him with a Tech 9, like at 50 miles an hour. Just bang, they're dead. Over and over again, this sort of thing can be found in the demo, where he's hitting incredible clips of just unreal control and calm. And you're like, it's unfair. And it's also unfathomable that it ever continues. And this is the problem I have with Legacy. We saw it last year when they had their little pop-off under Lux. Is this just their little pop-off under Art? If so, maybe they have timed it better. And so going into the major, they get their second pop-off event where they're actually really dangerous, and Latto looks like one of the best players in the world. Dumao's a high-impact, volatile piece. Nissim, strangely valuable. Sadzin, tolerable on the orb. Shout out Sadzin. But could this be that little thing, or do you believe this is, again, we're having this question, this sort of conversation a lot about Brazilian teams. Is this the event that for you made it real, made it sustainable, means that the next time we see them, we should expect more? Because at this event, we kind of brush it off. We're like, oh, yeah, upset run, fucking Falcons are shit, though. It's like, is that the whole story?
This is still a really good team. Maybe all in all, between all of these Brazilian teams, maybe the best put together ones, like one, in my opinion, has been for a while. Like, Latto and Dumao have undeniable talent. Nissim is a guy that I have loved for years, since well before he appeared at the top stage. He's always had really good skill, and he's really slotted into a nice position here on Legacy, and I think like he even in their like bad periods, Nissim hasn't looked horrible even in those periods, and then Sadzin serviceable. But what is he going to do when NQZ is just completely disappeared? The next best option is safe.
Well, Safe's pretty good. Still, for my money, for a lot of time where Safe has been playing on nothing teams and Sadzin's been on Legacy, I'm like, I would have tried Safe. There have been moments.
Look, yeah, but like Sadzin is a 109 in the past 3 months, and Safe is a 1.0 on pain. I'm just gonna say that like it's a more, even if it might be an upgrade on like experience or whatever the hell we might be giving Safe, it's marginal if anything else. It's not like unless you can have, if you could give me NQZ on Legacy, because then I think they would genuinely be like a top 10 side. But it doesn't seem like you can do that because he's just fucked off into Narnia. So Sadzin is okay. I just think this is a really well-rounded team, and then Art comes in. He looks a little bit different to when we had him last time, according to him as well. Yeah. He said that like he's more of a natural leader now, which is nice.
Yeah, it's important. That's one of those big things where it's like understanding that you have to be a leader as an in-game leader. Crazy that you put that together. What do the people think L stands for? In-game tactician. Like, but anyway, maybe lactician. That's why. Anyway, Boomich the god. Sorry. But look, the story with Legacy has been all over the place, and there've been a lot of disappointments. You know, even with Lux, but even with this this version with Art, there's been some disappointments. Let's be clear. They've gone out in groups at Bucharest, for example, and they've lost a lot of games that are like, these are not terrible teams you're losing to. It's just the Legacy picture. It's been most of this year. It's like, yeah, they're in the 8 to 15 battle consistently. And when Latto plays like the best player on the planet, they can beat anyone. It's a weird thing to talk about. Well, anyone. Falcons. I still think Spirit and Vitality are probably out their reach in that situation. Just because, you know, that's all you've got to present. It's not going to bother them too much. But I just find this team hard to judge overall, like hard to really to value. I don't have them going that deep at the major, despite this. Like, am I crazy that I don't think Latto's actually going to repeat this feat against big teams, and that a top 8 would be a nice story at the major, but probably underwhelming compared to what this result might imply.
I think they make it through into stage 3, but then I don't think they make playoffs because they start in stage 2.
Oh, right. I mean, still.
They just have to win 3 games out of 5 to make it into stage 3, and then they're top 16, like top half of the major, no matter what. But it's such a weird thing with Legacy as well, because it's not like Lux was like massively failing for ages.
No, he just had one bottom out or 2 bottom out events, and then it kind of just immediately got changed and was like.
Yeah, they got a 2-3 exit from the first stage of the Budapest Major immediately after having their 2 best events ever, the Bucharest and the previous Asia Championships run, and then they came last at Krakow. And those are like, yeah, sure, it's prestige events, but it's like straight cut from there. Now he's not even being looked at by other Brazilian teams. Like it's just like m0NESY are maybe rebuilding around him, and it's like, oh, okay, not even fucking some random squad being signed by this loud team are going to do anything. But then Art comes in, immediately playoffs in Pro League, and yeah, it's whatever field, but like that wasn't a guarantee. Like they almost make playoffs in Bucharest as well, which is a nice little run. Bottom out in Rio, sucks. 3rd place in Atlanta and win CAC over Falcons.
Yeah, these are all like, I mean, you're glossing over a lot of group stage exit type of stuff. And
for Art, I'm not even doing that. That's all the events they played except for 2 local events, one of which they won.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is those results are just, whatever. You're 8th to 10th, maybe 8th to 12th in the world.
Yeah,
like,
but it's just so hard to read because I'm like, why did they remove Lux so shortly after their best event of all time? Why is nobody else in Brazil seemingly looking at him? Why was Art, who was like kind of fucking horrible since leaving Furia, none of his teams have done jack shit? Because remember, he's been playing for Fluxo a lot, and they have done jack shit with him, despite having a budget of a gazillion Brazilian dollars. And
gazillion Brazilian dollars.
Yeah, and
That's
then
a bar. That's a bar. I'm sorry, that's a bar.
And then he comes into Legacy, and they immediately look like a top 10 contender. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? What is happening in Brazil? What's next? Are Pain gonna win the major with safe, and NQZ is apparently a horrible offer? Like, what is like?
I don't know.
Look, it seems like everybody who's good turns out to be shit, and everybody who looks shit turns out to be good. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, the thing that was interesting is I remember there's some people talking about like the tactical aspects of the Legacy Lux sort of era. Ted broke down some of their nuke T rounds, and they were pretty interesting, and they looked solid actually. But then we look at this version of the team, and honestly, the art part, since he's come in, it's like I watched the demos today, and I was a bit like, we're seeing some silly little gimmicks. Some silly little art plays. It's like they just freshened up little details in the strat book and then reinvigorated. Latto hits a bunch of shots and we win an event. Like, it's maybe papering over cracks that, maybe this team just can't operate that well for that long with any IGL. Yeah. But so I'm a bit miffed still as to how well they'll do in the future. I think Latto is legitimately a stud. I think if you're making a Brazilian team for the future, you just start with 3 names. Like, you go Dumao, Latto, m0NESY, and then you figure out the final 2 spots. Like, you figure out how you fill out the rest of this team.
Fallen and Fur.
No Orb. No, sorry. Orb IGL, Fallen, fuck off. That's just dreadful. But yeah, m0NESY showed some crazy stuff at this event too,
Yeah, Legacy have had 3 different coaches in 6 months as well.
As well, like the coaching situation's weird. Like I was trying to see if I could give some credit to the coaching, like maybe the coaches, but they just keep changing fucking coaches. I don't know what the hell's going on with there. It's a revolving door. But Latto is, if you're making a Brazilian dream team, you have to include Latto. He's stunning, like as a closer, especially. I think is the way you put him. Like you put him in like closing positions. Dumao's your hard opener. m0NESY's your second opener, half luck. Latto is a closer, insane. CT, you just need to find 2 anchors, really, because those are guys who are less anchor-focused. But, man, you got something cooking there. If you're a Brazilian team, you've really got something cooking.
Yeah.
Maybe you go Orplus, by the way. Maybe you just go Orplus. It's not the craziest.
Yeah, it might be worth it. Nobody in Brazil right now. I mean, Try, I guess, is technically available now again.
Yeah,
it's back in contract jail.
Yeah. Could do. Doubt anyone will. Let's get into some disappointments. Title of this section, We're Not Mad. Because obviously we're not mad. Just disappointed. Let's start with BC Game. I know you're going to be like, I'm not disappointed. I don't even think they were shit.
I'm not at all disappointed. They're horrible. This is exactly where I wanted them to place.
But yeah, they looked surprisingly competitive in one map of Dust 2. And then they kind of got embarrassed by Pain. And I don't know if I want to keep watching this team. And I'm not sure I want this to keep going. Like, they just look so far beneath Pain. And I know it's Skrunk standing in. They've just added Senzu, who apparently, as everyone says, barely speaks any language that's comprehensible. It's the way it seems to be phrased sometimes. Crazy's still not sick, but can we just... Like, how do we call it? How do we progress? Like, what even is this BC Game roster? Because if you can't give Pain a fight, why are you at these events?
They won't progress. This is what I've been saying. They won't progress. There's nothing you can do. It's like there is a limit to how much you can buy, and they've hit that limit.
I don't know. I don't think there's a limit to how much you can buy. I don't think that's quite true.
It's no, but like
how much they can spend.
It's like that one. It's like that. Oh, you've seen this one, which is like they're talking about like the sea level rise and climate change. It's like if you live by the coast, so just sell your house, and then it's like H bomber guy breaks down the wall and goes,
the Ben Shapiro clip. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then H bomber guy breaks down his wall and goes like, small problem. Sell their houses to who? It's like that's the kind of thing. It's like, who's selling to you at some point. That's where it comes from. That's what I've been saying about BC Game. I think at some point there's just nobody who's going to sign that contract. And I think they're getting every time they have an event like this where they embarrass themselves. they play like one competitive map. It's like one crazy good map of Dust 2. It was the same thing in Atlanta against Vitality. One good map of Dust 2. Simple, like, proves, as if he hasn't already proven it for like a year, that he still got it. Everybody else looks absolutely dog shit. And then they go out. And we repeat this cycle. And every time they do it, it's like, oh, Simple has proven he's still good. Some people seem to think that that means that people are going to want to join the team. But it's actually just showing that only Simple is good. Why would anybody want to join that team? And it just keeps building like this. And every time they do this, there's more and more shit. There's more and more clips about like, oh, he's talking about like this about his teammates. And like, oh, there's this one clip of Taz who's like shouting at his team. And it's like, we have a horrible vibe in the team right now. But then he goes to an HLTV interview and says, it's actually very good. We're very positive attitude. We're all working together. And it just keeps painting this big picture where I'm kind of looking at it. I'm like, there's no puzzle piece that could reasonably be put into this, and I think everybody, like all of those puzzle pieces, realize that as well. So then, in the end, it's just like I don't think they can progress. But at the very least, it's over. This was the last event. We don't have to watch this team until they have either confirmed a Senzu signing, which would like look if nobody else comes knocking. Because if somebody else comes knocking, Senzu will go. So if he stays on BC Game and extends this deal with BC Game, it means nobody asked, but they will. And then like, you know, Crazy can finally be gone because they've now technically replaced him on the VRS core. But like if Senzu and Crazy go, then they have to play with Skrunk or buy a core. So then it's kind of fucked anyways. I guess they have to keep Crazy for another season, and we just repeat the cycle. And then Electronic is over there dropping shit ratings. Although that Dust 2 was very good from him, and then Simple is still good. And
Electronic's actually been putting out fine ratings. Like that's the weird part.
Yeah, it's been fine.
It's actually not been a problem.
It's been a big back and forth. He was very bad against Pain, horrible against Pain. In the elimination game against series against Pain there, but he was very good on Dust 2 against Falcons. It's just the cycle keeps repeating. But yeah, we won't have to watch this roster anymore. Hopefully they'll have an in-game leader after the season.
Man can
after
dream.
The summer break. The next time you watch BC Game in a server, it will be a different roster.
Yeah, I'm expecting a core purchase. That's what I'm expecting, is there's going to be a core purchase. They're going to find someone who's going to say yes to a certain amount of money, unless it just entirely wipes. Like, those are the two options. There's not going to be anything.
I could see them buying like a 3D Max core. I think 3D Max are the only one. But they also have like supposedly offers from like fucking NAVI and another French org and some other fucking team who heretics, and like everybody wants to buy 3D Max for some reason. So yeah, BC Game could probably outbid them, but they won't. They obviously won't want to take all five.
Buy them, but yeah.
Sign Magic. Honestly, this is your best move you can make is signing Magic. 100%.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But no, they've been obviously a massive mess. The other one that's a massive mess, NIP. NIP go out in last place after a best of one loss to Bait, which obviously annoying, because why are we doing best of ones at big fucking events? CAC's formatting in general was a shit show, just a carousel of shit. We went over it on Overcom, like how everything they decided was terrible, like every choice they made. Best of one to open up groups, weird timings on the like end of groups into quarterfinals. It was just all terrible. But nonetheless, NIP lost that opening best of one to Bait. They still had a best of three to come against Lin Vision, and they still managed to lose that. And you know, I don't know what it is about this team being unable to just end a series. But they go into a very winnable map, an ancient map, a map they pick. God damn it! If you ban Nuke against them, they'll pick it like quite often. Like this is a team that likes an ancient, and they get smurfed on. And you watch back some of these rounds, they have no right losing them. Like the 1v3 they gave up to Call Me Sue, like the number of times they're in like 3-on-3s and they get completely outpositioned around the map. It's like they're just gone. They're asleep at the wheel. And obviously careering off the track and crashing into a fucking tree. Like this is just awful. So I I still like the ideas behind this team, the core of this team, the tactical leadership of this team. Like everything in theory about this team is good. In practice, I have to watch dodgy chokes and blown leads and blown series and blown overtimes over and over again. I'm just getting tilted. Quack, I know you probably have some sort of like deep held sort of sweet feeling in you, like this karmic victory that NIP went Danish and they can't fucking win. But do you have anything to say about them? Like, do you actually have some positives to take away from anything they've done?
They seem very aware of what their issue is and has been for about a year. They just don't fix it. Exist just keeps mentioning it in interviews, how they overthink things, they overpeak, they get too flustered, they make things hard for themselves. They don't play like they didn't practice. And they just keep doing that, apparently. So good news, you know what the issue is. The bad news, you have known for a long time and you don't fix it. So Wrinkle was doing it a lot. It doesn't seem like he was the problem. But yeah, it's no, not really. I have to wonder if, because there's good players here. Stown has been a surprisingly good opera.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he'd be solid.
Fine.
Instead, he's actually just been good. Like I think good is a fair estimation of it. Yeah.
I can't, despite the performance in that elimination game, you can't fault Casper Sky a lot over the season. He's a very good player.
Yeah, over the season, yeah, he shat the bed in the actual elimination game and in the tournament. But no, over the course of this year, he's definitely not been a problem for NIP.
Karen has been solid. It's not like you can pin everything on him, and neither with Shush. It's like Shush is not the multi-kill god that he was this time last year, but it's it's not like, I don't think there's a change you can make with Shush or Karen that is like immediately going to fix this team unless there's some sort of out of server thing. So then it is just like so you have the pieces. What's going on there with like Snappy and Exist? What's going on there with like, why do you keep overpeaking? Why do you have like problems with the pressure? Like not being able to play relaxed. You're all like nervy. What's the issue there? And then I don't know. Maybe it's a whole thing. Maybe it's behind the scenes stuff. NIP are not exactly a great position organizationally at the moment. Seems to be a lot of turmoil. So. Yeah, fuck do I know. But I'm just like, there's no obvious issue here. It's not like somebody's weighing them down. Maybe that somebody is Snappy and Exist.
I hate it. Like, I hate suggesting it, obviously. Big Snappy fanboy. But it might just be. It might just be something they can't get right. There's a secret sauce that Jame and Dastan have, where despite not having theoretically the right pieces, they deliver because they don't choke, right? That I think is very easy to say, just figure out, but it's very hard to actually do. And there's a reason, Jame has been to a major final with nobodies, won a major with kids and nobodies, like repeatedly taken trophies home with groups of kids and groups of nobodies. Like, there is something about leadership that feels a little more ephemeral and just fugazi and just like, you just have to somehow get this aspect correct. There's some combination of approach and communication style that just gets the best out of the rest of the players. They might just not have. They might just not have it figured out. They might not have a clue on how to do it best, and that leads to these massive disappointments. Despite everything looking good, I mean, 3D Max going last place. That's another one. Not the craziest disappointment, I guess, but losing to Liquid is always embarrassing. So I would say, that's another embarrassment for me. But overall, the majority of the event went the way it's supposed to. And the rest of the groups, NIP and 3D Max probably the two teams you'd expect to at least win one more series when you look at the group setups. Quite, do you have another player or team you think would be for you your biggest disappointment, or at least in the conversation?
Paravision have to be in the conversation. Losing to MIBR. Losing to Mongols I can forgive. It's like one of those matchups, but they shouldn't have been there in the first place, losing in such a fashion as they did to MIBR.
Yeah.
And then in Group B, in Group A is kind of like clear cut. It was like always going to be these teams at the bottom. I guess maybe Tai Lu in that Pain game because I just hold them a bit higher and especially on home turf. But Pain are a hard team to play right now, I think, with how PSM seems to have activated in that game or in those games. And it's I have to Paravision is like, it's a disappointing result for sure. Missing playoffs in CAC, especially losing to MIBR.
Yeah, Paravision, the MIBR loss is puzzling because it's like that one series they reached don't show up. Like, they don't show up at all. Like, not even Jame. Jame had a pretty good event overall, but he just didn't show up at all in that game. And m0NESY played... I mean, I don't know if you watched the m0NESY Ancient. I think it is against... Yeah, it is the one against Spain.
Yep.
But he looked like the best half-lurk in the world. He just looked insane. As the name implies. And it was a lesser version of that in the Paravision series. It doesn't really give Paravision an excuse, but m0NESY, I give him some credit, went fucking bananas. The one game I think it really comes down to is obviously that Mongols decider.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, James does his job, but again, 0.73 Nota, 0.59 Cielo. And it's not like they're in all the worst positions. As far as, I don't mean these players' roles, I mean as far as the team, how it's set up to perform and where they were on the map and the fights they had to take. I don't think it was unwinnable. I just think they didn't deliver.
Yeah. No, it's not, it's like, in that one map, m0NESY was the best half-lurk in the world, pretty much certifiably, because that map was the highest rated map anyone has ever had at an MVP event. It's a fun little stat for m0NESY. I think, honestly, I think of it like, maybe like, because Mongols as well shouldn't have been down here, having played Bait there in the qualification game for playoffs. So, but that's such a close game, and Bait are actually like not that bad, and Mongols are not that bad. I kind of give like half a failure to Paravision and Mongols, so it adds up to one failure in total, because the lower final shouldn't have been Mongols Paravision. It should have been MIBR Bait, but it was the inverse instead. So yeah, kind of like half a disappointment for both of them.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's move on to like the opposite question. How delightful. Let's just give a few few players, a few teams some of their flowers. Quick, take a pick, and it's not someone we've already talked about, preferably. Like, who or what impressed you at this event?
m0NESY impressed everybody, but we've already mentioned him. I think NPL with that group stage run was really good.
He was, yeah.
NPL was insane, and that Mongols game, insane. As close as it is, dropping a 150 is nice. The NIP game as well is a 191, just one map, but it's sick. Is it sick? Yeah, like whatever the case. Yeah, gets fucking battered by MIBR, of course, in the seeding game, but that's just the seeding game in the end. So, and then they get knocked out, to m0NESY in an overtime affair. But I still think NPL had a very solid event overall. So, if I'm picking one we haven't talked about, that's him.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I want to give on the same team m0NESY a shout just because of that m0NESY series. Overall, he's not obviously put in the kind of work NPL did. Holy fuck! Like that Mongol series was electric. But I am a big fan of m0NESY. I do think he's a very interesting player. So the fact that he gets it right in that big stage game, for me, will always be worthy of note. Another team, speaking of getting things right, m0NESY with Zelex. Got a lot out of Zelex. Like, sure, his roles still don't make sense to me. Like, in terms of T-side, 25% openers. Like, it just doesn't quite seem like the way I want him to play, But he still delivered a 119 rating. And it's not because he got a bunch of opening kills, His opening success rate was just around 40%. Like, that's just not good enough. But he still delivered good kills. And on CT side, he kind of lit things up. So I do think they've at least gotten something good out of Zelex. I still don't think it's perfect. I still don't think that's how you want to use Zelex in the future if you're actually promoting him and building a team around him. But shout out Zelex one time. Like, he actually delivered on stage, especially as a 17-year-old coming in, like promo out of the academy, temporarily with a really weird mixed bag of a team. JL, Xertion, first time IGLing and just calling for himself. It's a bit odd. Xertion still dropped to 150 CT side. Like, the fuck? I want to give Zelex some credit for getting a good showing down, getting some good results. Just for himself more than anything. So yeah, pretty impressed with him.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that from the kid.
Oh, seal of approval.
Massive. Let's get into another question. This one is strange. I thought about it initially when it was written, and I came to the conclusion that the answer is obvious, and if you disagree, you're kind of crazy. But this is what Btrams asked. Which would you rather be? A Greenland shark who lives for 400 years at the depths of the ocean, blah, 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 or a freshwater salmon? And there's a key, I think, point that decides this answer. Like, do I maintain my mental faculties? Like, as in, am I as aware and as, like, conscious as I am as a human, as a man? Or do I have the actual brain power of these animals? If I do keep my intellect, consciousness, whatever it is, I pick freshwater salmon. If I don't, I think I still pick freshwater salmon. So I just thought this is just a freshwater salmon. Because honestly, the life of a Greenland shark sounds miserable. Like, absolutely miserable. 400 years of darkness, chasing food in the freezing cold. Like, why the fuck would I want to do that? Like, why the fuck would I do that? When I could be a salmon, swimming upstream, jumping, frolicking, spawning eggs. Like, sure, I have to avoid the odd bear claw. But
Hang on, you're a woman in this one? You're a female?
Spawning or spunking, it's what difference is it to me? I'm not a fish. Like, I'm not a fish. I don't know. Maybe
Right, yeah.
being the spawner of eggs is the better option. I wouldn't know. I'm not a salmon. Either case,
Right, yeah.
I assume is pleasurable. So, think about it like that. Like, 400 years of monotonous boredom or one really good life that lasts like maybe, I don't know how long a freshwater salmon lives, like 4 or 5 years? Like 5 good years or 400 boring ones? That's essentially how it comes down to me. And maybe if you have the IQ of a Greenland shark, it doesn't feel boring. But then again, you don't feel anything. You don't live. So who gives a fuck? You're a shark. You're an angry floating pile of teeth and fucking, like, sinew. I don't really care for them.
Yeah, I've answered this one several times. Btrams has asked, and it's a tricky one. But I've actually gone with the shark every time because I think the shark is still fun. You're chasing food, you're hunting food, you're top of the food chain. You are literally just vibing. You're just vibing through the entire life. Like 400 years still a long time. You still get to, like, stuff still happens in the ocean. A lot of fucking shit still happens in the ocean. You still get to do a whole lot of shit over 400 years.
A whole lot of swimming. In circles.
What the
darkness.
fuck? Salmon swims as well. Yeah.
Yeah, salmon swims everywhere, like up, like near the sun, swims down, swims around. He's got a bunch of buddies. Like, salmon has a good time. Greenland
I think
shark's
a Greenland
just
shark.
a miserable loner looking for his next meal.
Oh, but like so much stuff happens in the ocean, man. A lot of stuff is gonna happen. A Greenland shark could write a great book.
It can't. It's retarded. It's mentally dead. It's mentally dead.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm
like
gonna
if
be
you
stupid, I
also
wanna be
are, then
stupid
what's
and
the
have
difference? But I think part of the argument is that the fish is actually, like, not as stupid.
Yeah, I do think a salmon is smarter than a Greenland shark.
Yeah, but then what's the difference? If you're dumb, you don't realize you're dumb.
Yeah, but then that's your life, dude. Like, you're just a dumbass who doesn't understand what the hell's going on.
What do I care? What do I care? I'm just the I don't perceive. It's not like there's as far as we know, there's not another fish judging me for being dumb. Like, that's
It's
not
not
like
about being
what
judged.
would I
About
care about?
your experience of life.
Yeah, but my experience is the same anyway, because if I'm dumb, then I'm dumb, and like I won't even realize that I'm dumb. My
You
experience
won't realize
is the same.
anything. You're a fucking Greenland shark.
I will have, if I am a Greenland shark, I will have fun for 400 years because the
you
Greenland shark has fun with whatever fucking shit goes on at the depths of the ocean.
Look. Just Google a Greenland shark. That motherfucker's not smiling. Never smiling. Google a salmon. Motherfucker's always smiling.
No, dude, I've seen salmon with this. Look, this motherfucker is literally he's so jolly, dude. Look at this guy.
Jolly.
He's so fucking jolly. This guy is so fucking jolly. Look at this guy.
He looks 100 years old. Like a 100-year-old man has
He
the same
probably
look on his
is.
face.
He probably is.
Exactly.
But he looks.
He's got fucking Alzheimer's. You want Alzheimer's for 300 years.
Look,
Just
I mean, he
confused
looks sick, dude.
darkness. Like, it looks terrible.
At least, yeah, I like this guy. I like this fella.
Salmon every time, and there's no correct answer. If you pick shark, there's no correct way of justifying it. We're moving on to a pair of questions. It's a pair of questions technically, because it's about an NACS. If you maintain your intelligence, you spend 400 years swimming around looking for fish at the bottom of the sea. 400 years. 400. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't be reading chat. I know I'm right. I don't need to.
Is this an analogy for G and a leash? Yeah, the green. Try to figure out who is the Greenland shark there, and who's the freshwater
G is obviously
salmon.
a salmon. One event where he's good, but Salish, who's always good at hunting, eating things, apex predator, but it's just living in darkness. Never gets that one joyful experience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this is shit at the you ever see a live stream of like a submarine, like a research submarine?
Yeah, it's just
crawling along the bottom of
goofy
the ocean.
shit. Like, it's not.
Yeah, that's what I fucking love random goofy shit. Like that's the life of a Greenland shark.
It's gross. It's nasty. It's nothing I want to be involved with. I want air.
Crabs and shit.
I want to dive over a bear's paw as it swings at me.
You're a fish. Like air is like suffocation.
Do you swim?
Yeah.
Yeah, shut the fuck up then. All right, let's move on to NA. Because two people kind of have asked us to save NACS. Two people. And that's obviously because NA is a catastrophe. And so one is from Jexka, who asks, if you could pick any NA players to create one competent team, what players would you choose? And the other one comes from Niall Ryerson, which has a lot more waffle. But essentially, what would it take for any of the North American-ish rosters to become like top 10 viable? I think we're essentially answering the same question. I guess you could answer it a different way with the second question, where you can talk about just making little changes to like a liquid, maybe finding the one right piece. I'd rather just talk about this. Quack. Make a 5-man team of US and Canadian players that you think could be a top 10 team. Now, I've made one just out of boredom, really, whilst I was waiting for you to finish with your children's concert or whatever noncy thing you were doing. And so I came up with players. I based some of it on positions, some of it on vibe. It gets awkward, obviously, because there's like no AWPers except Junior to pick from. But I'm going to tell you my team and let me know what you think. So I'm gonna actually take Twists as like an IGL. Sort of fragging IGL, but Twist is an IGL. I do expect him to be supportive, throwing a lot of my flashes, and enabling sort of the other sort of ideas I have here. I'm going to take Lake as my primary aggressor. Spoilers, guys, there's no Elige on this team. Because I think we also need time. We need time. Elige is not in a position to be patient playing with kids. I think he's more in a desperate rush to win games, so I don't take him. I take Lake as my star opener. I'm going to take Junior as my AWP, because I only have really that option to me. And I think Junior is slowly getting better. Very slowly, but slowly getting better. And then I'm going to take 2 late round focused, sort of anchor focused players in NAF and Hexed. I want both. Take both NAF and Hex. Now, the idea in this team is I need more aggression than I actually have. So it's probably going to end up being a sort of Hex has to do more opening work than he usually would. Twists is probably going to do a lot more entrying than he really wants to. But it's in order to set up what I think is the best possible combination of firepower I can kind of concoct in terms of tried and tested tier 1 potential and tier 1 level play. And that is with Lake, with NAF, with Hexed. And then Junior, I guess, is like kind of like the best I can do on the AWP. I think the best case scenario is you do have to kind of sacrifice some of Twists. But he will still, I think, produce pop-off rounds. He'll still get a lot of CT active spots. He'll be more like an Apex or Kixan, where he'll play some rotator spots, some active spots. Actually, just more like Apex, really, than Kixan, where he'll just play like Con and things like that. And so he'll get more stuck in. I think he's just a better fragger than Apex. So he'll on the Hook C to Crabany spectrum, he'll be way closer to Crabany. still a step below. So yeah, that's sort of the idea I have for like my best possible. Obviously, coach Daps, the only way. So yeah, tell me, where am I completely flawed? And does this have top 10 potential? We're not ignoring m0NESY. We're just choosing not to include the Central American region here when we talk about NA.
Yeah, I think if it's top 10 viable or not, I don't think that you can make it better at the moment, to be honest. I think it would have to be, it would pretty much need to be top 10 viable. The way you've laid it out. If Legacy are, then I think this team can be as well. But it's not exactly a slam dunk. It's not one I would like instantly put up there, like making playoffs at big events. Still...
Yeah, it's reliant on two things. It's reliant on, firstly, Lake being as good as he's shown he could be.
Yeah.
And Junior not being bad.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, the Junior of it all, it has to be Junior. Because as much as OC has had like a decent run for bits of the year, he's also just not quite been there. Junior's actually outperformed him in top 50 games. Who knew? I think the only way you really can change this is like trying to play devil's advocate for like a Grim or a mobs or an Elige in their place instead. I'm not taking Jaba over Naf or Hext. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking Rek over either one either. I'm not taking another in-game leader.
I wish I could say Stan, but I can't.
No, you can't. Nyx is another one I'm not really taking over anybody, despite playing at a high level.
He's played not terribly a lot of the time in support roles. It's just for the anchor spots and for like lurker spots, I've got two better options in NAF and Hex. Now I know NAF and Hex actually overlap a lot in terms of the actual things they want to do. But I still think I still think that both of them can coexist and can alternate kind of lurk versus half lurk, you know, pack sort of trader versus true lurker T-side roles.
Yeah.
There'll be trade-offs, but I think it can definitely work.
Yeah, I think Grim is maybe the Swisher, I don't know, but like Grim is maybe the kind of guy where you'd have to consider that like the best we've seen out of Grim and like the average that he was delivering at one point versus what Lake is doing right now. And then I could kind of make it happen. But then Grim has also been not that good recently. So
yeah, Grim was one I considered obviously for my like kind of opener spot, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like,
it doesn't change it for me. It doesn't like even if you put in like the best Lake or the best Grim, it's still like borderline top 10. Which is the sad truth.
The difference is the best Lake doesn't necessarily exist yet.
Oh, probably not.
Lake's 21. Like there's no such thing as the best Lake yet. He's still young enough for me to have like a small amount of growth like left, like just to wait for. So I'm okay with taking a Lake and being like, all right, we'll see if he can develop a bit. Now, if you extend North America to include Central America, like that's
just mobs.
It's just mobs. That's the reason you're doing it, is to include mobs. Mobs has more consistently hit that peak. And mobs as a player on an underdog team has been kind of nuts. Lest we forget the M80 period. Like when he is like on a team that's got less proven pieces, he's a brute force opener, kind of anchors a lot. You know, imagine telling me I can have Hext and I can have NAF, and not only do I get to use them both in sick anchor spots they like, the one who isn't in the anchor spots they like gets to be a more active rifler playing off the shoulder of Lake on CT side. Like, so gets to be my second mid player on Ancient. Because m0NESY is anchoring A or something like that. Like, all of a sudden that's pretty dangerous. We're entering some pretty sick territory. So I think there are a few interesting interesting options there. They're just all they're all a bit what ify. There's no guaranteed core even that you want to pick up right now that's North American. There's no this 3 has to be in, then you build out. I think the realistic way you build a team is to start at Liquid with Twists, with NAF, and I guess currently also with m0NESY, and then you make the 2 changes. You maintain the core, cut Shuhei in Ultimate, and the world rejoices. You bring in, actually, to be fair, NA would fucking love this. You're cutting Shuhei in Ultimate for Hexed. Oh wait, no, it's a Liege still, not Twist. I'm stupid. That swap happened. I guess you go step by step. Like you first cut Ultimate for Junior, you then swap Twists and Liege back or something. Like, I don't know, but you probably have to start at Liquid with Day of Nath and Malbs. Like probably, it's just not that convenient though, is it?
No. We had there's a new little, I guess this is just going to be like a streamer kind of cup team. But Cooper leaked this one roster, which is apparently happening this other week, which I called the North American Super Team in the article we wrote about it. It was Stewie. Let's see, who was it? It was Stewie, Skadoodle, Automatic, Food, and Breezy. You remember Food from 2018? And it was like this. I called it the American Super Team, but then in the like subheading, I wrote if it was 2019, and it's just like because in 2019 that thing would have won a second North American major, I think. Nah, not really, but maybe.
Not even slightly.
No, but like maybe. Hey.
No.
No, but that thing exists. That team exists, and honorable mention because it was. I called it a super team, and then Jeff from Dust 2 was like, "You're more of a delusional NA fan than I am," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, fucking love Food. Valorant ruined everything."
Yeah, I mean, didn't lose that much in the end, but no, there's no clear way forward without some more talent in North America coming up. It just doesn't seem to be in a rush to come through. Never has, but also it doesn't seem never will be. So you just have to combine what you have currently. We do have a pretty decent player in Hexed. Jaber one day might be decent. He's just still very, very young. So, not that all hope is gone in NA. It's just there's very little, very, very little. On the topic of like hopeless scenes, Sweden. That is a place that you are from, Quack, and they are relevant to this next question from Chips on 1709. What are your thoughts on the current state of Scandinavian CS, excluding Norway? So just Denmark and Sweden. Obviously, neither scene is ever likely to fully return to its peak, but the players and teams like, and a bunch of random players and teams are listed, still show a lot of potential. So, Quack, current state of Scandinavian CS. Let's go, give them a grade. First Denmark, then Sweden. Grade the state of their scenes.
It's an A, but I'm sort of teetering on an A.
Who's an A?
I mostly talked about Sweden at the moment. I didn't really think about Denmark.
Okay.
Denmark's okay. If I can just briefly on Denmark, because they're kind of hard for me to lump into the same thing. They feel like what Poland was for a long time. Like a bunch of teams with a bunch of players who never really seemed to like even peak into relevancy. Like, because I remember when in like the pandemic and just before the pandemic, when we had like, as soon as Virtus Pro fell off, no Polish team even popped into the top 30 for a week until like 2022 or 2023 or something. I think, I remember now it was in the Paris Major. I think it was the 9 team there. That was the first time a Polish team popped into the top 30 even for 1 week since Virtus Pro fell off. Or maybe Illuminar popped up for a week around there in 2019 or so. So it was dire. I feel like Denmark's sort of in the same way because you do have some like half decent players on half decent teams. Like I think Essen is doing great stuff on what is now EAC. I think you have like a team like State, which just beat 100 Thieves there. There's like, that's very nice. And like, they keep doing this stuff. It's obviously never going to be anything very good. Sashi and Tricked as well, it's the same sort of thing, but it's like, it's never going to be enough to compete. And I don't think any of them have a chance of competing in the same way as like an Alliance or Eyeballers are doing at the moment. So then that part, I'm just sort of putting to the side. So if I'm combining them, it's going to be something like a B or like a B minus to average it out. But Sweden, I think, gets an A, but I'm teetering on an A minus because controversially, I'm starting to feel that we're about to hit our peak. I'm starting to feel that like we are nearing the crest. Stuff just feels too good right now. I can't. Stuff just feels too good. Alliance have uncertainty with m0NESY, who is such a big part of the team, and I'm just not sure what the fuck their future is going to be without m0NESY. I think Eyeballers in a solid position, but I think they're also already sort of, unfortunately, peaking a little bit. I think there's only so far this roster is going to go, and there's a big summer shuffle, which might greatly affect both Alliance and Eyeballers. And then beyond that, we have a Johnny Speeds, which is like fun, with like a fun player, several fun players. I don't see them going super far up. And then we have these like scattered talents, but still those same talents that we were like touting, like Adam B, Susp, and Nilo. Compare them to where they were when we were touting them as like the big future talents. And both, like all three of them are not really quite there. Erez is like the best performing Swedish player at the moment, and Fuzi's behind him. Fuzi's maybe like this brightest shining star at the moment for Sweden. So that's why I'm teetering like an A-, because I just feel like, where do we go from here? Where do we go in a world where m0NESY doesn't play on Alliance, doesn't play on a Swedish team, and Alliance probably take a hit because of that? Where do we go when Eyeballers stagnate and go down? Where do we go from there? And there, I just don't see like any way to move forward. That's the bottom line of it.
Okay.
Right now, it's an A. We've done great.
Yeah, I do think Sweden's got a shit ton of potential.
Yeah.
It's just about, can it be in the same team? You're right. Like, a lot of it looks like it's going to be scattered amongst the European mixes for a long time.
Yeah.
That's not the end of the world. And it's the sort of thing where once they're established enough, you could always regroup, you know? They could always come back together. When you look at players like... Honestly, you can easily put several of these insane players in the same roster. Like, you can have Adam B, Nilo, and m0NESY on the same roster. Like, it's not insane to have those three guys on the same team, and that's a crazy start for any roster. It's just, it might take them a couple years of playing at pro level to get to that point. And even then, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for Sweden to not have all their players on the same team. Because we've seen what Sweden's done with talent when they're on the same team over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best idea to have them there anyway. So let them be wild, let them be free.
Yeah, the minus is just because I'm kind of like, where do we go? Because at this point it feels like we're just sort of rushing, like how far can we go before we run out of fuel? And it's not like anybody's got a jerry can at the moment. Like there's other teams in other countries that I think have a path forward, where there's genuine paths to move. Like Russia's a typical one. Or like there's obvious teams in tier 2 who are still like bubblers. So even when the top talent and even when the top prospects maybe have to take a step down or whatever happens, then that's going to happen. But it's just very expensive to run a Swedish CS team. It's very expensive to develop a Swedish player compared to a lot of other countries. And I think organizationally that makes it difficult to sustain it over time. If Alliance had made the major, S+ it would have been. It was this close. It should have. It should, because that's an injection of cash. That's a whole different level of things. And that's Alliance like sustainably within the top 30 for like outcome, I think, with just that one major. Now I'm sort of like, well, they could drop out of the top 50 before the end of the year. Unfortunately, that's just where we are.
All right, quick. The next question you're going to have to ask me. So
yes,
what is this?
Another dead end scene we are asking about here. As partly French, are you partly French, Kingt?
Legally and literally entirely French, but whatever. Let's just move on.
Right, as partly French, would you consider yourself de facto an absolute ZywOo fanboy? In your opinion, at what point in his career did he become a tangible GOAT contender? So the first part of this question is a very simple yes or no question.
No, I don't consider myself a de facto ZywOo fanboy.
But the second part of this question is very interesting. When did he become a tangible GOAT contender?
Yeah, so that's more interesting. So this question's from Fragzorleet. And look, he joins Vitality in 2018, right? And it's crazy because he joins them and pretty much immediately starts going kind of ham. Has that DreamHack open Atlanta win, decent online results, and you're already like, holy shit, he's pretty damn good. And I'm not gonna lie, That's not where he becomes an actual GOAT contender. That's where it becomes clear he will be in the conversation eventually. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take long, because people talk about him being a GOAT contender. It's like, there are certain places, like when Donk, we saw like one Katowice out of Donk, and you're just like, okay, when does he become the GOAT? Like, you didn't actually, no one actually came out of that event being like, that's a fluke. I could do that too if I got lucky. Like, no one thought that. Everyone just went, oh, fuck. When is he the GOAT? And that was the feeling with ZywOo in 2018. But 2019, you know, he has a full year of actual tier 1 play, wins already, like a bunch of MVPs, some even in second place, dropped some crazy numbers. MVP event stats, let's see it. Yeah, 0.84 KPR, 131 rating. Just does a whole bunch of stuff really damn well. And already at that point, it's kind of like, yeah, just keep racking him up. Like, he's not going to be the GOAT yet. And he hasn't caught Simple in as far as like year-on-year performance, but he's already playing fantastic CS. And he's already on that trajectory. He's so young. So I think around the time where it becomes tangible to call him a GOAT contender, I think might be the end of 2021. Maybe some point in 2022. Like, it's...
I think, honestly...
That's the time where it becomes sensible. Like, see, he wins number 1 player in 2019, but that's a bit... Yeah, 2020's online. But then when we have a full year 2021, where again, he's not as good as Simple. But he has just such a great return to LAN. And follows up with another great year, and then 2023. Okay, I guess. Okay, I'll put it this way: 2023 has to be the year. Like, if you were being harsh as possible, 2023. By the end of 2023, you have to have him as a contender for GOAT, even if you don't think he is, and even if you think he never will be. If by the end of 2023 you didn't have him as a GOAT contender, you're just taking the piss. Like, you're just taking the piss.
Yeah.
So it depends on which year you consider as number 1 most valid. Like, so I know a lot of people didn't like 2019, a lot of people didn't like 2020. I don't really care. By 2023's end at latest, he's a GOAT contender in your book, or you don't know ball.
I think he becomes a GOAT contender like in the discussion in 2020. But then the thing is, Simple firmly overtakes him again in 21. But I think in 2020,
that's
if Simple
was
no, but I think like you could start talking about it in 2020. But then the thing is, like,
yeah, you can start talking about it in 2020. It doesn't matter what Simple's doing. Like, it doesn't matter at all what Simple's doing.
No, but what I mean is, like, no, I'm trying to illustrate that, like, I think already then you could reasonably start talking about it. And the thing is, like, less people were actually trying to make that argument after Simple had his best year, which was 2021. The conversation still happened.
Argument to be the GOAT. Being a GOAT contender doesn't mean you have to be believed to be the GOAT by 60% of the population.
So what I'm saying, I'm just saying that, like, I think you could put him into that conversation in 2020.
Yeah.
But then Simple extended the gap.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
But it does matter, because the Simple part of it is why you said that, like, by 2022 or 2023 you had to put him in there. I think 22 you definitely have to.
Simple's not relevant to that either. Simple's not relevant to that either.
He's the guy he's up against. The only guy he's up against at that
No,
point.
he's not. Fuck no, he's not. He's not the only guy for the GOAT debate is not Simple until 2023. Like, or 2021 or any other date. The GOAT debate is fucking a variety of different takes and opinions on a variety of different players, some more valid than others. ZywOo enters the GOAT conversation around the time of his first number 1 player. My point was just that if you were an anti-ZywOo person who took the most negative hardliner, like, anti-ZywOo take, by 2023, there's no way to deny it. He's in the GOAT debate.
Yeah.
Because by 2020, the GOAT debate is... It's Simple. It's, for most people's money, ZywOo. It's coldzera. It's somehow still Olaf if you're like 3 crazy Swedish people. Get Right. And Device. Like, it doesn't become locked down Simple for a lot of people in terms of the GOAT until much later. And the GOAT debate, even then, to be a contender in it, still wide open for a lot of people. But yeah, I do think 2020 has to be the year he becomes a contender. I mean, you could argue 2019 just because he's the number 1 player in the world. And then after that, yeah, you can't deny the conversation by 2023.
Yeah, because like when he's number one in 2019, by, like you said, by the level of performance, it was the question of like, oh, when does he become the GOAT? It's sort of at that when you're asking that question, you kind of have to say that he's
in the conversation. So yeah, as early as 2019.
It's the same thing with Donk. Same thing with Donk. Like Donk was the same kind of, like you said, when after that Katowice, he showed up, he's insane, he wins his first major. After the first year, it is kind of like he's already up there, like being talked about as like one of the GOAT riflers. Then he has to be like a GOAT candidate. And yeah, it's. I think you're right though that 22 is maybe when, because the thing is he fun fact. Although a lot of them are online, Simple had a couple of those as well. He ties Simple's overall MVP count by his second full year in Tier 1 Zaiwu. He ties Simple in that. That's fucking insane. Of course, put on a big event filter, all those online ones disappear. He didn't have any in 2020. And then it takes another couple of years. Then it is probably like 22, 23. So it sort of depends on where you put your scale. But I think, yeah, you have to put him in the conversation by 23 when he wins the major, I think. Because then there's just nothing you can put Simple above him on.
Again, Simple's not relevant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like when it's like, if you want to try to make an argument, you have to think about these things. But like Zaiwu was at that point probably like definitely number 2 for everybody or better at that point.
Okay.
He's just so. If I think a lot of people genuinely went from Zaiwu not in the conversation to guaranteed top 2. That's what I think the jump is.
I must have missed a whole lot of genuine insanity then, because what conversations are we even having? Which lunatics are you talking to?
Just what I think.
That's insane. But anyway, let's get into Cock of the Week. And before you create a good case, nominate yourself. Quack, who have you selected? Because I'm looking, there's just a name written here. There's no link. Usually there's a link. So what's happened?
Yes. There's several links, actually, but I'll just read them out. Wildcard played a LAN event this week. I think we're going to talk about it later. Yeah. But just briefly, there was a grand final. It was between Focus and it was between Wildcard. They both have Polish coaches. Wildcard have Splavik, who was coaching their academy before, got promoted and everything. Polish guy. And Focus, of course, with ZTR, Jorko, these kind of guys. They have Kuben as a coach. It's 2 Polish coaches in this LAN event. And of course, it's a LAN event. They're shit-talking each other. Oh, it's this very nice LAN vibe. They're shouting at each other. This is what happens. And Wildcard managed to win it. I'll just reveal that part. At which point, it turns out that, presumably in Polish, considering I don't think anybody else picked up on this, except for Splavik and Kuben and his Polish teammates. Kuben has apparently at some point during the game shouted at Splavik, "Shut the fuck up, you fucking fatty." While Splavik was just like, "You're trash," and then like Kuben just comes up with this slightly more personal attack, and then loses. And it's just like there's been so much stuff from the Wildcard players like after this. Like Splavik was like kind of level-headed, just saying, "I don't think that's. I think it's pretty sad that you go to that after a pretty good level of trash talk." And then MHL came out and he said. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, maybe our coach is fat, but at least we have a coach. Considering Focus lost, and I think the funniest one was Hexed. Where the guy he said, "Yo, Kuba, I don't know where you're at, but maybe don't scream that my coach is fat and focus on your own team, brother. They needed you." And yeah, it's just I think Kuban replied to this and said, "Some are old and bald, others are fat and young." Just double down on it. But yeah, just this is a mild Cock of the Week just because Kuban talked too much and lost the game.
I mean, to be fair, you're trash. I've always hated that piece of trash talk from Americans. Like, it's just not very good. You're trash, bro. Like come on, we can do better. And in true European fashion, Cuban got personal, which I think is funny. But yeah, oh, I mean, yeah, obviously, every time you talk shit and lose, you're gonna look a bit silly. This time you got clown on real good. To be fair, Splavik, bad as shit, so it is valid.
Yeah, some are fat and young.
Some are fat and young, and look at the baby face.
Some are old and bald.
Like
I wonder. Yeah, now that I read it back, I wonder if maybe Splavik called him old and bald.
Oh, there's a very strong chance he did. It's just
yeah.
history is written by the victors and those who can write. So, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just amused by this. I just think it's just banter. It's just pretty good banter.
It's fun. It's funny banter. I want more of this. This is
always
sort of like a.
It's like, what do you mean?
When you are cock of the week,
really? Like, it's funny to clown afterwards, but the idea that we'd like hold it against Cuban for actually coming out with a sick burn, I don't hold nothing against him. Like, well, sick. Calling a fat guy
sick
fat.
burn, I don't think you can call it. Just calling a guy fucking fat, but like,
at least it takes a little more like getting a little personal with it is a bit. It's always more fun with trash talk, I find, than just you're trash, bro.
I think Cuban, you are cock of the week, but please do it again.
Yeah, please do it again. And Splavik, call him old and bald.
Call him old and bald.
Yeah, bring back slurs. Like, come on.
What up now, Swedes? Whoa!
What up now, Swedes? That's the thing. You got to give it to the Yanks. They may have zero game when it comes to talking shit, but they say it with great enthusiasm.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will. Come on, Seattle!
Enthusiastic. Shit, but enthusiastic. Yeah. It's the American way.
Your
it always has
teeth
been.
Are upside.
Yes, your teeth are offside. It's a great part. Great part.
I fucking love this. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the major.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit early, but hey, in this podcast we blow our load quite quickly. So the major Fraudwatch. We're going to start there because we got a question from Gape Giver. Which players are on Fraudwatch for the upcoming major?
It's always so funny.
Yes,
Thank
the
you,
giver
Gape
of
Giver.
Gapes with his great question. Yeah. But yeah, so which players are on Fraudwatch? So I immediately, you just kind of have to. Your Fraudwatch list has to include NiKo. Like, it's the big event, the one he hasn't won. He's just been choking in major finals, in big finals recently. NiKo's immediately on Fraudwatch. Quack, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you have any less obvious options to start with? Let's talk maybe stage 1 and 2 type teams. Like, do you have anyone that's a more like a Noah would know? Like, you have to be a little more in there.
I think everybody on FlyQuest ends up on Fraudwatch because of what we talked about in the pre-show.
The members only pre-show. Become a member today. Yeah.
If I think there's a real possibility FlyQuest end up 0-3. I think there's a real possibility Thunder and Down Under don't, but the seeding is probably going to shaft them just because it would be peak stage 1 major stuff. But if FlyQuest finish behind Thunder Down Under, no matter what, boot the team, remove them from the Counter-Strike space because that's just fucking embarrassing. I think I have like a slight Fraudwatch on NRG just because of the season they've had. Like, this still such a weird one. This is a little bit like Legacy, sort of like how Grim was like so good for Passion UA. He leaves to get replaced by Senzu, goes to NRG, is immediately shit, and the team is shit with him. And NRG with the same thing. Like, they had a good start to the season with like Sonic playing excellent, OC actually pretty decent, and then they get Grim in, and again they're just like bad. So, but then beyond that, no, I don't really have one. Like, maybe Big, because this is like the first time Big are on like a big stage. This is like the first time Big are playing this big lineups, playing like this, and it's not so much a fraud watch because I don't think anybody here is a fraud except for maybe Tabson. But like, if there is, if JDC or Faven or even Grix are a little bit hollow, then that's going to give here in the stage 1.
All right, I'm going to start with in stage 1 PR Fraudwatch. Has received a lot of plaudits, has been kind of in their last couple of events and also this year in general. Massive Fraudwatch because fucks up, bro. Like, supposed to replace Jimmy, but now I don't know. I don't think anyone would want him over Jimmy, even though Jimmy has been put on a cross and left for Carrion. I still think PR's not a good replacement for him. Never was. And honestly, the hype's kind of dying down. So that's one of my picks in stage 1. I can't really have anyone from BetBoom just because of the stand-in situations. The fact that it's not really the team they want to play with. It's a bit awkward. Otherwise, yeah, stage 1, I guess most of the teams are going to perform how they're supposed to perform. Now, I can't really be too critical. Like, if I put Youngster on Fraudwatch, it'd be kind of stupid, you know? But I guess one that will have to be actually... Okay, one that's real. This is a duo that I've been critical of, is Shuhei and Flashy. If Liquid don't make it out of stage 1, fire both. Yeah. Fire both. On the spot. If you want, execute them on stage. That's not really, like, maybe hand them a pink slip on stage, like literally as the owner. Walk up to them, like in their game booth, rather. They're not going to be on stage. Just give them both their pink slips, like, or their severance. There you go. They're cut. They're done. Do it on stage, like a ritual execution. That's a duo that I would like to see replaced before even Ultimate gets discussed. I'd cut both of them if they don't make it through. On to stage 2. Obviously, in the real sense of what Fraudwatch should be in terms of you sold us a fake reality, art, most of Legacy, arguably Latto 2, Fraudwatch. Like, you just went and won a big event, embarrassed Falcons. If you come into stage 2 of the major and don't make it out, frauds. So that's a huge Fraudwatch.
Yeah. I've got one here. Afro. He's had a fucking amazing season. If he doesn't at least show a semblance of that on the major stage, I kind of think it's all for naught. Because then it is just like, you've been mid for so long, you finally show up to get m0NESY to this major. And then if you shit the bed in stage 2, then it is, which I think is entirely possible, because this like Afro back to that stage where he was sort of with Fnatic for a bit. If then it's just kind of like, oh, so it was just, you were just farming. Is that it? Or like you just had like a random streak? And I am kind of like that. And the other one I have here is there's not a player but Halley, which is just like, he's kind of just on Fraudwatch in general, but
yeah, he's
back with Spirit. Saltfic is not around. If Spirit go back to being shit, then Saltfic is in. Yeah,
all of m0NESY is on Fraudwatch, obviously. Perfect example of, did you sell everyone a false bill of goods? I've already made my opinion on that clear on Twitter, and received a responsible, measured sort of set of interactions from the Argentine fan base. Yes, I'm a milky boy, as they made clear. I think that's a big one. And then I guess G2 should kind of be on there. G2 should kind of be on there, just because you've been sort of trending up, but also haven't really done anything. You need to make it out of this stage. Desperately. You need to make it out of this stage. And then finally, the stage 3 teams, obviously, Kyosuke. Not really himself, but like Falcons. Kyosuke being the best performer of this recent sort of grand final pair of events. Like, you need to make a deep run in the playoffs. You can't just make playoffs. Like, this has to be a grand final sort of appearance. So I would have Falcons as sort of a team to be wary of. Most of Furia, I think, needs to be on Fraudwatch.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I don't really believe in what the hell's going on over there.
Since Krakow final, they've made a single top 4, and it was Rio. And just for good measure, they lost the 3rd place decider as well.
Yeah, but who cares about that? Aurora, specifically Xantares, like, he has been trending down. And usually, no, when you're talking about Fraudwatch, talking about players already shit, then saying, will he be shit? Like, he's shit. Yes, he will be shit. Hence why someone put Azuwu in the chat. I was like, he has been bad. He's the one everyone wants to cut. He's not on Fraudwatch. He just is bad. There's no false bill of goods. Aurora, Xantares specifically, huge Fraudwatch. If they crash out of this event, I think there needs to be some big changes. Xertion, he keeps carrying his team through CT sides calling around himself. Like, this event has to go well in a different way. The Mongols, I don't really care. I think they're just where they're supposed to be. Parivision, like, there's nothing to be on Fraudwatch about again. Like, am I going crazy? Like, they're just
No, they just. I think
We
they're
just
back to
know
where they should be.
3/5 of the team are not good enough, and the magic
Yeah.
has sort of worn off. That's like the magic mind control has kind of faded, and you can't fix Belchinok. You can't fix Noto apparently, despite him having an MVP case to open up the year. Despite me being really excited for his future, I think he just doesn't have it yet. I think he needs to go back to tier 2. And then Cielo's still on the fence about him. So you can argue 3/5 of that team just shouldn't be in stage 3 of the major. To be fair, you could have said that last time they were at the major when they made stage 3 from stage 1. So it's a really weird spot. I'm not sure what to think of Paravish. Maybe you have a different opinion of it, Quack, but for me, it's like
I think they're just kind of
just odd.
Yeah. I think they're kind of just back to their level where they should be, and I think that level should be in stage 3, but like they shouldn't be an invite. It should have been a stage 2 invite, making their way into there. But yeah, it's splitting hairs. Depends on where they finish. They can still make playoffs, and it would be deserved. It's it's one that I could see happening. Yeah, no. NAVI, maybe, slightly. I think NAVI have shown really good stuff, but it's kind of again that like if they go back down and like don't look like at this point. I'm not even gonna say like I'm not even gonna say that like they're a contender for the win. But like as it stands, they are the second highest ranked team in the world. So I kinda have to call them that.
I honestly I do not have any concerns over NAVI. In that, yes, they could fail, but that'd just be them failing and crashing and burning. I don't have them on Fraudwatch. They just beat Vitality, sure, off a break, in a quarterfinal. They took care of business and won that event. They've made a bunch of grand finals, then lost to Vitality. NAVI are just a really good team. Should they underperform? They underperform, but it's not like it's not like some miracle has got them the results. It's been a clear, systematic improvement of the system and of individual players, especially after signing m0NESY, that has slowly gotten them to this point. Like they're just solid. So I'm not gonna be too worried about NAVI going into this one. They're here to play the event. They'll have massive expectations, but it's not the same thing as Fraudwatch.
True. Yeah. No, I don't think we have any more than. Somebody said Sus, but I think honestly Sus has just been kind of bad.
Struggled. It's kind of annoying.
It's just had a rough year. Yeah.
But let's talk about something else.
Beyond that, no.
Coins and Siggies, as I've called this section. And like a lot of things that come with a major, this is kind of in the gutter. Like it's something people are just scrounging for. It doesn't really have much value. Coins and Siggies. But for some reason it always gets talked about. So let's talk about the system they've implemented this major with the way the pass works. I don't really get it. Quack, do you know how this shit works?
Well, it's just flat out taking the gambling out of it. That's literally all it is. You now operate on a free market. You can make any skin based off any game into a souvenir. So there's no gambling on boxes anymore. There's no gambling on sticker capsules. You just buy the thing. It's speculative, like a stock market. There's highs and lows, but it's not. There's no capsules to open. This is. They said that it was like in their FAQ. It was like we've had a lot of feedback that a lot of players want to be able to directly purchase the stickers of their favorite players, and like additionally. Recent regulations in some countries has made capsules unavailable. It's like, there it is. That was the real reason. You just put it second, so it wouldn't be as obvious. But yeah, so this is the same reason why Germany now has the X-ray scanner for cases, why we now have terminals instead of cases. It's just the latest development of that. And I think the shitty thing about it is that Valve, on paper, at least if we have the same sort of spend that we've had in the past years, will make even more money off of the system than they already made off of the capsules. I don't think they actually will, because I don't think people will spend as much when there's no gambling, but it's just that there's not supposed to be any more gambling. That's what the system is. The one thing I like about the system, I don't think the system is wrong in principle. It's more just a change from what it was, because that's like what the community is used to and yada yada yada. But of course Valve feel that their hand is forced. But one thing I do like is that it's popularity based, and you actually kind of get a feel for like who is the most popular player, who are the most popular teams. That's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
that's what I was looking at. I was looking at certain players and I was like, ooh, this guy's cheap as shit. I'd actually like his sticker. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was looking at some stage 1 players. I was like, yo, I can get a pretty cheap XYZ, you know, or whatever, whichever player it was. I was actually looking at, it's been someone on Gamer Legion. No, I don't think it was. Might have been some Sinners players.
It probably
actually.
was.
I don't know who I was. No, I might have been looking at a Klim signature, maybe. No, I don't know. I don't remember exactly. It might have been Grix. I was just looking at some players I liked, and I was like, why does that number so much smaller than when I clicked on arbitrarily, like, a donk one? And I didn't know about the exact system, how it worked. I just had a look. So yeah, I didn't really understand how it works. I still don't understand how you're supposed to get the currency to use it. Like,
Buy it.
you just have to buy it.
When you click it, you like add the stickers to your cart, and then you just, when you go to checkout, it's like 100 coins. I guess 100 coins is $1, but it ends up 100 coins is 89 euro cents. And then you just like add funds, pay for the coins, cash it, or cash in the tokens, and then use the tokens to buy stickers. So you can also buy I think you can also buy tokens straight up and then spend them, but it is just buy them for money.
Okay, well, that's obviously a bit shit in some senses, but
yeah, but like some stickers are cheap. Like I bought 6 holos on day 1, a signature from each of the Swedish players except for Brollan, because I forgot that he was actually playing in the major. Just so I could do like a cool craft, and it cost me €9 in total with a sticker slab on it as well, which is fine. Like all holo signatures is like for €9, that's cheaper than most previous majors, I would imagine, even if it was kind of shitty, like relatively shitty players. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting because I had no idea how it works. I just asked you. And then we have a final one, because this is kind of major related, because we talked about NAVI not being on Fraudwatch, NAVI being one of the contenders for the major. Yet we have a Q&A question asking, what's a reasonable move NAVI could make? Going into the major is one of the favourites. Frags Lee asks, if NAVI had the chance to make a roster move with a reasonable budget, what would you make? So the budget of around $1 million. Who would you remove and who would you bring to replace them? Here's the thing. I'm cutting m0NESY every time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you want me to say. A reasonable player to bring in, though. Quirk, you're the market expert. What's the buyout for Frozen?
Oh,
is it $1 million?
Yeah, they might take that. It kind of depends on where their rebuild situation is at, but I'd say he did recently extend his contract, which is annoying. But in light of that, I would say no. But just for the sake of it, I'll say yes. It's close. It's close. You can haggle it down, I think.
Okay. Otherwise, Nerds, I've always maintained, is just better than m0NESY at doing the same shit m0NESY does. So I'd take Nerds. Don't know why you're putting that fucking face.
I'm just like, no, it's just, yeah, right, yeah.
Because look, if most of the positions, I don't think there's a player you can sign for bit. I don't think there's an IGL I'd want over Alexi. If there's an AWPer I want over Wonderful, I don't think I can get him for $1 million. You know?
No.
Like, there are AWPers that are better than Wonderful. It's just right now, there's none that are better than Wonderful who cost less than like 1.5, probably, if not way more.
Yeah, like you'd have to get a m0NESY.
Yeah, m0NESY probably costs you more than $1 million right now.
Yeah, like, as far as you can go is maybe. No, you're gonna hit rock bottom in terms of either being better than Wonderful or being more expensive at some point.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure about
that. Yeah, I don't see one.
Maybe m0NESY is the best chance of getting an AWPer who's like exactly $1 million. You know,
m0NESY is probably the one who is definitely better than Wonderful. So even that is slightly debatable at the moment, I would say, considering
current form. It's iffy, but what m0NESY did just also have his best event of the year.
Yeah, so I'll say he's probably the only one who is definitely better than Wonderful and is the closest to the $1 million. That much
Yeah.
we can say.
So you're
Yeah.
right on budget.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know. For like a m0NESY, there's no move.
Because it's like m0NESY is on lock, Bit is on lock, Alux is on lock. I think Wonderful is just right now the way it looks. It's just it just has to be Imme.
Yeah.
If it's not frozen, I'm not sure. Yeah, if it's not frozen, there's a bunch of different little options. But yeah, how would you like? How would you like them just bringing back JL?
I wouldn't.
For Imme.
I wouldn't, to be blunt.
Never.
I don't become a fan of every guy who smiles at me nicely. And that's JL's entire career, is smiling at everyone nicely, and then one fluke.
All right.
So I don't really care. I don't really care. So, no. There are other players. We've got someone in chat saying Twist or Elish would be better. Insane. Elish especially is an insane idea. Genuinely nuts. Twists, in some contexts, could work. It's just...
I mean, Twist is better than Imme.
Historically, yeah.
And he does replace the second calling element that everybody keeps going on about with him. He's just not better than Wonderful, and I think you're paying the same for the two of them now. He's not better than Frozen, I mean, and you're paying the same for both of them either way. So
yeah, I don't know. No, I think Twist has got to be cheaper, surely.
Maybe marginally, but I think both of them have fresh contracts.
Yeah, I don't know about the Twist move. I feel like Twist is in a point where he's doing something else. Like he's trying to be an IGL. He's trying to be the core of a rebuild. And like he knows Frozen is going to be their big sell. Like they're going to sell him off for a big like buy-in, a big figure. And he's going to be a part of the rebuild, trying to figure out FaZe's future, and he's going to be Mr. FaZe. I feel like that's what's going on.
How about for Imme, a Melo 9 or a Maxter, and what would you do with the other $800,000?
I don't know if I'm doing either one of those moves. I'm especially not doing fucking Maxter, you nutcase.
What the fuck? He's been great. He's been amazing.
Please. Melo 9 is like, he's just too young. I don't want to risk a complete nobody. Like, you know, like he's not a big name. He's not played the big stages. Do I really want to spend 6 to 12 months going, but he's so young, he'll learn? When I'm currently this close to winning? Like, I'm currently this close. If I just get a legit stud in Imme's positions who can kill people when they can see him, you know, people who can see Imme, kill him. In this case, I want to sign a player who wins that fight. Why would I go and sign a guy who might just choke everything because he's never been on stage and who's, like, barely finishing school? Like, I'm not doing that.
We make NAVI Ukrainian, just for fun.
Why?
I'm just thinking if maybe there is a player like that who's out there on one of these Ukrainian teams.
I mean, you can go get NPL for Imme.
And, like, an NPL or a Jacasmo, I reckon, could handle the heat.
Jacasmo's a terrible fucking choice, but NPL's good. Well, I don't know what you think about Jacasmo. Thinks it'll make it work on NAVI level play.
Decent at shooting. Imme's a low bar, so decent is enough.
Yeah, but you also like, we can't also just piss on Imme and pretend he doesn't do anything well. Like, there's a reason I always talk about his inability to win 50-50 duels. He does take a lot of 90-10 duels because of his timing and understanding and read. Like, he is intelligent. That's why I think m0NESY is a great choice. It's why I think Frozen's a pretty damn good choice. It's why I think these players fit. Just slotting in anyone who can shoot heads and be like, I'll be better, I think is a bit redundant.
All right, yeah.
I know it's just a bit...
Frozen is the move.
Frozen's obviously... He's been the move forever, man. The one thing that pissed me off is when I was like seeing people who wanted to bring in Frozen for like Alexi or Frozen for m0NESY. I was just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? What guys are you talking about? Like, that was just insane. But yeah, that's kind of it. Shall we get to the other actual event that happened that we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
BC Game Masters Championship Season 2. Again, we just love iconic names in Counter-Strike. We can't just pick a location and create history anymore. This was a weird event. In Vila Nova de Gaia in Portugal, we had a little
This is
event.
Porto.
Shh, it's Vila.
It's a suburb of Porto.
If
It's like the
that's-
south part of the river in Porto.
If that Finnish event can not be called Helsinki, what was it?
Espoo is a
Espoo.
city.
Espoo is just the greater metropolitan area of Helsinki. Can fuck itself. If Vila Nova de Gaia has to be
even
counted as
closer.
Porto, then Espoo is the same thing.
The center of Porto is walking distance from Vila Nova de Gaia.
I could walk from the center of Helsinki to the center of Espoo on all appropriate roads. No motorways needed. It's the same nonsense. So call it what it is. It's Vila Nova de Gaia. And we had some cool teams, some genuinely terrible teams. And at the top end of this, with Passion UA, Inner Circle, Focus, and Wildcard. And yeah, some Brazilians thrown in like Sharks and Gaming Gladiators, who proceeded to give us a pretty forgettable account of themselves. I don't know how to phrase it, but yeah, just not play very well, which bodes well for their stage 1 performances, I guess. But yeah, in the end, Wildcard do come out on top through the top side of the bracket. Like they just won. Had to beat Focus twice in the end to get it done. But a pretty impressive event, and the biggest games they played, their best player was hexed by a good margin, played fantastic. But yeah, Siggies comes in. They immediately have a pretty good event, pretty great results. Peeping was the problem all along. They faced Inner Circle, just for reference, Inner Circle, Ascend, and then Focus twice to make this happen. So it's not the craziest set of opponents.
Hey.
But hey,
they were struggling. That's literally the top 4.
They were struggling.
That's literally
with
the top
Peeping.
4 of the event, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, they were struggling with Peeping against similar or worse worse opponents. Sometimes, remember their Challenger League loss to Voka. Remember their Bucharest crash out, which was just not very impressive. This is still a pretty impressive result. I think Focus are a very dangerous team. So it's important they win this kind of event for Wildcard. I don't know what to say beyond Hexed needed to stay on M80. Like even if it means switching up some roles and doing something weird, if you desperately had to bring Jaber in, by Swisher, like I don't know. Like, I was pretty sad to see Hexed go, and he's just proven that he was worth the effort. He was worth risking, sacrificing, trying some crazy things out, because he's just so damn good.
Yeah, some fun teams. I think Inner Circle have a decent go at it. It's still not quite where they want to be, I think, but it's they've had much worse events than this, making top 3, almost making the final.
Yeah, they're just in a weird. They've been in that weird rebuild. We've talked about it all the time. Losing Cairn and then the Flearex and Knifey stuff. You know what I mean? Like Flearex just not being quite good enough. Knifey
being banned
eventually. The fact that they do get finally a good event out of Davu and produce some results off the back of it as well, I think will be nice for them. Like give them a little more confidence. But it really is. This is where it's what it's come to for Inner Circle. It was so exciting, and now it's top 4 at BC Game Master Championship. But Bucharest was a disappointment. Draculan was a disappointment. It could be a trend in the right direction though. Like this could be the turning point where they finally start really building back up as a team that can take that next step. I hope they do. They have been fun to watch in the past, and they do have a lot of talent. So one to watch. But yeah, the big talking point that isn't these teams who did kind of well, like the Wildcard, Focus, Inner Circles, it's just the fact that these 2 major attending Brazilian or South American teams show up and just stink it up. I mean, Gaming Gladiators lose 2-0 to Ascend, single digits both map, then lose 2-0 to Inner Circle with 1 overtime thrown in after a 13-5. Oh god, that's poor. And then Sharks, they at least get a win over Betclick with Eski, Hades, and then Prism, Demo, Drenku. Like they get something to save themselves from true embarrassment. Then lose a 2-1 series to Focus and lose a 2-1 series to Inner Circle. Focus and Inner Circle, neither one at the major. Neither one. So there could be a factor of those guys are prepping for this, Sharks are prepping for that. but I'm sure it can't do that much good for your confidence.
No, Gaming Gladiators, I think, are a lock-in for 03, especially after this. Sharks, that's a little bit sad to see, because I was hoping they would actually have a decent showing in stage 1 of the major. Maybe not even progress, but like have some fun, show some good players. Like, these are 5 players that have never attended a major. Most people would say, who the fuck are these guys? It would be fun if they could actually give us a show, but like the performance in this event isn't really, boding well for that. Yeah, no, I think it was a tidy performance out of Ascend as well, like beating Gaming Gladiators there, but just in general in the event, I think they had a nice event. They're a nice little team. There's a group
always
stage.
Tasty on LAN. Sorry to interrupt, but
Very tasty on LAN.
Prior roster won a LAN out of nowhere. This version with Han and Red Star starting off strong. Like they are always a little tasty.
Yeah, they're very dangerous on LAN apparently. We had a group stage as well. They won their group, Ascend. Infinite actually played decently there, but they lost in the play-in to Rebels, which is womp womp. Should have been in playoffs, to be honest. And then on the other side, we actually had a nice little group, which was BetClick, OG, Medisport, and Rebels after Passion UA pulled out. Medisport going winless, aside from the forfeit win against Passion UA. OG going out in the play-in, 2 inner circle, eventual 3rd place finishers. So it's a bad day at work for OG after immediately after signing a new player as well, which is it just keeps OG just keep being bad. I thought they hit rock bottom when they had that roster with Keto, and like they were getting invited to like blast group stages and stuff, playing with like Exius and Keto and them. But then honestly, like by any stretch of the imagination, this is rock bottom. Because even if the players are better than what they were then, like you have Adam B, Spook, Katie, and Body, these are players that I think should be significantly better than going out before playoffs in the BC Game Masters Championship Cup Series shit ass tournament number 2. So yeah, fucking OG, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, OG it's one of those tier 2 mixed teams where everyone like that had some excitement, had some names, but everyone slowly, sometimes quickly forgets about, and that we just keep seeing pop up and keep being like, ooh, something needs to change here. Something's not good. Something's not right. And sure, it's a harsh sort of system that leads them having to play a play-in and they lose a 2-1 series, but man, Adam B dropped a 151 for this,
Yeah.
He went ballistic. And Prime Taps shat the bed as he does on every team he plays on.
Yeah, first outing, he replaced Aros Dos. Just small shoes to fill, but Prime Taps apparently has very small feet. What? Why can't I not coin that analogy? What?
Yeah. Oh god. Okay. Quack, Retake Games. It's getting late. Give me some gameplay.
Yeah.
What game do you have for me? Because you said you had a great game, so it better be good after that.
I've stolen this one once again from Sporting Instagram Reels. We are going to play a back and forth, okay? The rules are, we each name, one of us takes the role of picking a player, and one of us takes the role of picking a team, and we alternate between this. So let's say that I start picking players, I name a player. You name a team that player has played for.
Right, I've got it.
I then have to name another team that player has played for. And the key to all of this is no repeats. So the goal of the game is for you to try to lock me into one. Because otherwise we can just go infinitely. Like, I go to Centaurus, you go to Big, and then etc. etc.
Wait, so the goal of the game is for me to pick a team that...
Well, you have to pick a team where I've already named, or at least until I can't name a player. Like, either one that I don't know or one that I like, one that just doesn't exist. If you've already picked all 5 of question mark, the oldest Rawless roster, for example.
Okay.
Or the opposite way, which is that I managed to pick a player who only has like one team, or where we've already mentioned all those teams. So I'm going to be writing down our picks. Don't worry about that. So we make sure we have no repeats. You want to do? Do you want to do 2 rounds of this so we swap at the half?
Yeah, I guess. I'm also going to need. It's going to take me a while to fully understand how the fuck I'm even supposed to try to win this. I didn't fully understand, so let's just fucking.
Do you want to
play
go?
it.
Do you want? As soon as one of us can't name anything, we lose. That's the thing.
Got it.
Do you want to be player or team first?
I'll go team.
All right. Yep.
Do you not start with a player?
Oh, I thought you were going to start. No, okay, yeah, sure. Fallen.
Luminosity.
That's nice. Let me go to. Let's just go to Fur.
Gaimin Gladiators.
Ooh. Here's a good one. Do you know who played there right at the end? I'm gonna go for Roy.
Roy. Oh,
When they had the Danish roster, you remember?
Yeah, Mad Lions.
That's pretty good. Mad Lions. I can screw you over here. I can screw you. You're really good if you get out of this. Tudson.
Fuck, he played for one of those bloody Polish teams. Illuminar? Did he play for Illuminar?
He probably did. I'm gonna var that. I'll write that down.
I'm gonna look him up quickly. No, he didn't.
I think I might have fucked you up here.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Ooh.
He played on some nobody teams before that. Nothing else. I thought he had one. You know, they usually have one thrown in there before they end up on the mixed team. But he doesn't have the Illuminar. No, he played on Anonymo afterwards. I had the colours in my head of Anonymos. I just couldn't remember the team, so I guessed Illuminar. Fuck.
All right. Yeah, all right. 1-0 for me. Best of 3?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to start with a player this time.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Uzi.
Uzi? Who is that?
It's French.
Oh, that motherfucker. Fuck. Might be gone already. There's no way I'm gone already. No, okay, I know this guy. He played for... Pretty sure he played for Titan.
Yeah, pretty sure that's the only real team he played for that's of any significance.
I'll VAR that while you think of another player.
VAR your Uzi. I'm pretty sure he did, briefly, during one period.
I think it's the kind of thing where like he appeared for a map or something, and I'll count that in that case.
Okay, we'll give you Uzi for Titan. I'll go Kaylee.
You know what? He didn't play for Titan.
Uzi didn't play
he played for LDLC.
Oh, it was the other one. Okay.
He played for LDLC. Fuck, I've already... Okay, 1-1. All right, that's not bad.
I thought I should know, so I picked something you shouldn't, which is 2014, because I know you're a new guy. I couldn't even remember. I knew he played for a French team. I genuinely couldn't remember. That's not my job to remember, though.
Yeah, let's play another round for the win. Yeah. If it's short, we'll do best of 5. Okay. So I'll start with the player. You have a lot of options if I go for this. Let me go for Plessen.
Plessen.
Yeah, I know he's not a favorite of yours.
Fnatic Academy.
Shit, goated. Ooh, there's one good one. Okay. I'll go for Alex.
Are you talking about Swedish Alex with a K?
Yes.
Oh God, I'll create my own prison with this if I get in the wrong direction. Please tell me he's played for some Swedish shitters. He must have played for some Swedish shitters. Everyone's played for Swedish shitters.
He has. There's one in particular.
I know he's played for Fisher College, but I don't know where anyone on Fisher College has played otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem. I can't go down that route. Please tell me he's played for Lil Mix.
Oh, I don't think he has. I don't think he has.
Please tell me he has.
You know what? He has not.
Oh, fuck off.
No player ever starting with an A has ever played for Linux.
He played for Kappa Bar, he played for Prospects.
Kappa Bar is the one I was thinking.
Yeah, I would have been stuffed either way. Yeah, okay, I was really hoping there wasn't some obscure Swede who'd played for m0NESY Academy. I was hoping you'd just have to go to like Regali or something and I could work a way out.
The other guy I was thinking about is Båten, but I just genuinely had no idea where I was going to go after that. If I went for Båten. But yeah, that was a short one. We'll do best of 5. You start with the player.
Shocks.
Nice. This time I'll go to LDLC.
Happy.
Happy's a good one. Go to Vitality.
RPK.
Le Tank. RPK played for G2.
He did?
He did. I know I've seen RPK in a G2 jersey.
Fuck. I genuinely did not know he played for... I don't remember that period. And he played for G2.
He won a trophy, yeah.
Okay. G2. Scream.
Scream is a good one, but you have given me a lot of options here. Gamer Legion.
God, I gotta avoid those fucking Swedes. So I know it's where he's gonna go. Right? Towson.
On my turf now. Towson. That's great. We are gonna go to Sprout.
Lornex.
Ooh, Lonix is a good one. I think I really only have 2 ways to go. And we'll go for Nexus. You can really pigeonhole me here, but I think
I'm trying to. I'm not sure which one's the best option. There's a couple I think like I basically just stuck there. There's no other choices there. I'm gonna go Raga.
Raga definitely played for Infinite. We just talked about it a minute ago.
No way he did. Raga played for Infinite. Fuck, you're right, he did. Infinite.
What a swipe.
I know Adex has played for one of these smaller Romanian teams. I can't remember if it's Infinite or another one. But I'm going to go Adex because he's one of the only players coming to mind.
I think... I'm just, for the record, I'm saying m0NESY because I know he's played there, so I'm saying that. I'm pretty sure.
He did play for Infinite, yeah, good.
He did, and he did play for m0NESY.
Yeah, m0NESY.
Oh, do you know where I should have gone? Fuck. I have already gone m0NESY, but I should have gone AIM Club.
m0NESY. Who's a good pick where I can definitely be on playable territory. Okay. Zelex.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just have to go for m0's main team.
m0's main team, and then I need a player who's only played on m0NESY and m0's. Fuck. Jimmy's played on some Finnish bullshit. Zershin played on some just bullshit that I wouldn't remember.
No, I do know one for Zershin.
Yeah, that's the problem. You would know them. I need to kind of open it back up then, don't I? Almost. On m0's. NiKo.
NiKo's not bad.
Yeah, I need to reopen it.
I'll go to FaZe.
Kiyoshima.
Heretics.
Yeah, he did play for Heretics, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He did in 2020.
Do you know who else played for Heretics? Because I don't, and that's the struggle. I know some shitty French players did at the end of their careers.
Yeah.
But I don't know if XMS did. I don't know if MBK did. I don't remember who exactly has played there. I feel like Misuta's played there, but like that's based on very little.
Like the one.
So I'm gonna go
Wonder Kids generation.
I'm gonna go. Did Piton play there? I remember him in green, but I don't remember what the fuck that was for. He's played in a bunch of shitty teams. This is the problem. You know, surely, no. I feel like this is where I fucked myself. Oh, I didn't really fuck myself. It's more that you've created a situation in which I am fucked. Because I don't know Heretics that well. Trying to think across games. Is there some hint I can get? And like, they had a Valorant team that was really good. I remember that. Or that was relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're one of the biggest esports stories in the world.
Wasn't their Valorant team Spanish?
Probably, yeah. They're Spanish org.
Oh, do they have a Spanish CS team? Hang on. Do they have a Spanish CS team?
Doubt it.
I don't know. I need to stick to the Frenchies. I don't think I know anything else well enough. But I'm purely guessing on who the French people on this team could be.
Yeah.
You know, fuck it. You may have helped me with this one. You may have baited me with this one. But you said Wonder Kids. I think Python was on that group. Who else was on that group? I'm gonna go Python. He's the only one I know.
Python was on Heretics.
Okay, thank you.
But this is surely where I have you beat. Because Python was also on Unicorns of Love.
No, he was, but that was a German team. Unicorns of Love for a long time. Tier 2 Germans.
Yeah, but he was there.
Tier 2 Germans. I think I can have one. Crisby?
Crisby?
Is that not a German on shitty teams?
Oh yeah, Crispy is a German.
Crispy, yeah, he's right fucking there. Fuck you. Fuck
no!
You.
Shit, Crispy!
Yes, Crispy.
Oh, Crispy, okay.
Crispy the god. If you find a
I just have to go to... I just have to go to alternate attacks and just pray.
Freeze.
Big Academy.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah, I didn't know about that. Big Academy.
This is a long one. This is. Do you want to make this like sudden death? Winner takes all.
Yeah, this is the decided. Fuck it. This is the only one that's actually been good.
Yeah. Whew.
Big Academy. I need to find a way to win this. I don't think there really is a good way. Big Academy. The problem is if I go down that route, you'll know those players better than I do. Like, you'll know these tier 2 shitters. You're too criminally online. Like, way too online. I stand no chance if I go that way. I need a player with some outs. Give me... I think he's currently there. QB.
QB has been there, for sure.
Is he not currently there?
He might be, but he definitely has been there.
No, he got dropped at the end of 2025. Okay, whatever.
What the fuck was the name of that team? What was the name of that one team which you were never gonna know? German team, where he came from. Because otherwise I have to go there. To Fnatic Academy. Fnatic Rising, which is... no, wait, he wasn't. He was on Fnatic main team. That's where I have to go. But he was on a team. I'm gonna say that if I get this name wrong, I lose. But I'm gonna say that he was on a team called NTX.
Yeah, he wasn't on a team called NTX. I was looking at his team
Fuck.
list to see which one you were going to try and get. There's
Yeah.
2 teams you've mixed, basically. He was on NLG and TTC at various points.
NLG is the one I was thinking of.
I knew it was
because
one
I
you were
know
thinking
that he
of,
would.
yeah.
I knew he went to Sangal, and I knew you would know players from Sangal, but there's no way you know players from NLG.
I wouldn't. I honestly, I know who Sin is. Sin is on that team when you click on QB playing there, but I wouldn't have been able to guess any of these. So that would have been the death of me.
Fuck. Yeah, that's a loss. That's a loss for me. GG's. It's a win for Kingt. Surprisingly.
Surprising. This is supposed to be your realm.
Yeah, this is supposed to be.
Except where I managed to where I just took a cheeky little like trip down memory lane, picked Uzi. Which is the only way I can truly get you is picking players that are obscure enough from tier 1-ish when I was fresh to the scene that you'd have no chance.
Yeah. It's insane you got out of the Unicorns of Love hole.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was just like, I just racked my brain for like, who would I have watched at like 9 a.m. in like 2020 on like the shittest teams? Like, you know, those kinds of rosters. Like, who was there?
Yeah, I thought that was mate. I thought that was going to be over.
Oh. Heretics. They did have Spanish rosters initially. Just I wouldn't have known any of these players.
No, is it maybe those kind of fuckers who are no Kairi does stuff with AM.
Ooh, XMS was on that team. Okay, that was one of my that was if I didn't gamble on Python at the end, I would have gone XMS. Like that'd be my other guess. So been fine.
You did name a lot of them. Yeah, Kairi was coaching Navi Junior. That's why I know him. Yeah, XMS was there. Misuta wasn't there, but Nevera was there. And yeah. Then you were right there. Also, shit is like Biggie, I think, was there before he got banned. Some other, yeah, whatever. That was actually a good one. We finally got a good game there, but it's at the end. But
tough back and forth. But let's get into our final question of the episode from the viewers. This is a question about the map pool, which I feel like I've answered before, but we're going to go through this again. Like we've talked about the map pool before. Maybe this was simply missed. But yeah, map pool time from Square G. Which would be your personal favorite, I assume, map pool? And also, where does cash fit into the current pool? Now, these are both questions I feel like I've answered pretty well. As in, my perfect map pool isn't that far off from where we are, I don't think. I am sick of Dust 2. And I will tolerate Mirage just because everyone has to have it in there for some fucking reason. But I would cut Dust 2 for something. And my something currently is just Train. I just like Train. I really like Train. So pretty much keep the same list. Mirage because I have to have it. Then Nuke, Ancient Inferno, Overpass, Anubis. And then, yeah, Train on the end. That'll be my team. That'll be my actual, probably like currently would be my favorite setup. I like all the other maps. I'm not someone who hates on a lot of these maps. Not an Inferno hater particularly. Like people hate it. I'm not that fast. I think it could do more tweaks. Like I think there's a few places that need still some tweaking. Like probably Banana needs to be wider for it to become a more interesting map. But I still like Inferno. It does a lot of nostalgia for me. You know, it's part of the map when I was new. And on the cache side of things, it's just a recolored Ancient in practice. It's not literal, but the way the map plays out, I've made this point before. Like the map control you fight for, the areas you can control as a T or a CT, the way those are contestable, the way the sites generally work as far as execability versus retakeability. Like it feels like Ancient. Like an Ancient feels like cache in a lot of ways. It's not a perfect simulacrum. It's like a 1-for-1, but that's always the way I saw it, and that's why I've always said that if this cache comes into the map pool with Ancient still in the map pool, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I wouldn't be opposed to if you just said tomorrow I have to pick cache or Dust 2 in a fucking heartbeat. Dust 2's getting taken out behind the woodshed. Just fucking despise that map. So yeah, that's my simple take on the map pool questions. I don't know about you, Quack.
Yeah, I used to be a big Dust 2 hater. I don't actually hate it that much now. I think it's a bit stale. I think, honestly, I'm kind of the opposite to you because I think a lot of the maps we have right now are very stale. I see a lot of the criticisms of Inferno. I happen to enjoy both playing and watching it. But I see why people don't. I think Overpass is pretty stale. I think Anubis, after the recent changes, there's a reason why it doesn't get played very much.
Because it involves too much thinking and util and trying, like as always.
I do just think that it got worse with the window in change in mid. Nuke is the only one I can like confidently say is like peak. Nuke is really fun. Mirage, I think, is honestly fine. Like, sure, if you're watching 6 games of Mirage straight, then it is boring. But the map
Which you
itself
are
is
at
fine.
most events.
That's true, but the map itself is fine. The map itself, I think, is entirely fine.
It's the definition of stale. If you're going to call other maps offhandedly stale, to say Mirage isn't stale, I don't know what the fuck you're watching. Like, you must have special filters just to watch Mirage. It's stale as shit. It's just been stale for a decade, but whatever.
Yeah.
They added one bench 8 years ago, and everyone still loves it for some fucking reason. I don't get it.
Mirage, I think Mirage games on Mirage are often fun, I think. More so than I think Overpass, because Overpass games, I think, it's a very large map. Rotations are long. I think it ends up being a little bit boring because of that. Ancient, I think, is fine. Dust 2, I think, is more stale than Mirage because you just end up playing the same short control every round.
Yeah, Dust 2 hasn't changed again in fucking forever.
No, but also in particular in like the recent couple of years, it's just you're playing the same mid and catwalk control, and then you either go A or you go mid to B. No other option.
Yeah,
before it was stale because
rush, but it's really bland.
Yeah. Before it was stale because you were taking long every time, and it was like whoever wins long wins the round. Now it's just take short, wait for a minute, and then go. So boring. At least like on Inferno and Mirage, you have different avenues to play the same round every time. Is the kind of thing. In Dust 2, it's just every start of the round is always exactly the same, and then nothing else happens. So I would probably take out either Anubis or Overpass. As much as I have just hated on Dust 2, I think it could stay. To put Cash in. I actually really like Cash. I'm excited to see what the pros actually do on it, because even in its base state, I think it's fun. And I kind of agree. I think it's a foregone conclusion that it is going to get added into active duty at some point, maybe after the major. But so if I have to choose one, I'll choose Anubis because I don't like playing it and I don't like watching it very much. But it's
I quite enjoy playing Anubis.
But I see what you mean with Ancient. Because they do play similarly. It's like both sides have maybe 2 smoke lineups at best that you like need to know. And
then,
they're
like, simple XX. The mid control is incredibly important. It can be taken by both teams. Both teams also have other avenues of aggression. Like, there are distinct similarities to them. And they don't. Neither one has a truly like mind-boggling gimmick. They both just have one very narrow rotation point and one very fat one. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're good maps for me. Like, I do think they are good maps, and I enjoy them. It's just I do think they fulfill a very similar purpose, and I wouldn't really need both in the map pool to be happy. That's what I like about Overpass. It is very different. Like, it's very different. There's not a lot of maps that play like that at all. It's one of the most unique maps as far as, number of tricks and gimmicks people can throw in. It's one of the only maps where the CT side is truly the instigator as far as map control. Like, no other map has as much CT play available. I think it serves a very important purpose, and I just think teams are not very good at it at the end of the day.
It's very long. I think maybe my problem with it is it's very long range. A lot of the duels are very long range.
Yeah, so you have to be good at the
game. But it's to a point. Like, Nuke has a perfect balance of it because you can take the long range duels sometimes and the short range duels sometimes, but like unless you go for like a straight con, and even then you still have a long range angle on A side. Unless you go like straight connector to short to B, you will take very long range duels on Overpass no matter what route you take. So it's Nuke is more like unless
it's a bad map if you can't fucking aim. Like, you're a terrible.
No, but like it's not. No, but it's not even that. It's like that's like it's like excessively so. It's like, yes, you need to be able to aim, and it's like a show of skill. Counter-Strike is not a game which is all about aiming. It's like,
thankfully it does also have long rotations for the T side, and it's punishing on commitments if they go wrong. It has some tactical aspects that are actually also very punishing. It's just generally a punishing map, and I'm okay with that. That's why it was dope. Like back when it was played a bunch in 2016, like it was just a pretty dope map.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are.
I just feel like Nuke has a better balance for that sort of stuff. Is more so
Yeah,
what I mean.
but I want both in the pool.
I'd rather have just Nuke. I want Vertigo back. I want the old Vertigo back before they opened up Elevator. And that's just because it's a goated map. I won't hear any complaints.
Biggest piece of dog shit. Genuinely one of the worst maps we had to play in competitive for a long time. And worse than Season, which was just weird. Just weird.
Yeah, Season was weird. Season was. I don't have any strong memories of playing Season.
Obviously,
there is that one
didn't
game.
play it. It was
No, I did
very briefly in the game, and it's a long time ago.
No, but it was in the game for like a good while during. I think it came back for a second time during one of the operations and stayed for like half a year or something. I played it quite a bit. I just don't remember anything of it because I feel like it was just like we walked into a house and it's like it felt like Rainbow Six because it felt like, oh, here's an angle I didn't expect because this was not designed for gameplay. It was designed to look like a house. That's sort of how I felt like playing it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been one of the community-created maps problems. It's like, hey, did you know there could be 50 gimmicky angles in one fucking corridor? And you're like, for fuck's sake, man, just declutter.
Yeah, it's like a Rainbow Six map is here's a house, and this is how a real like counter-terrorist team would approach it if they had superpowers. And then
they had superpowers, yeah.
Yeah, but then like most CS maps is like we've made an arena where you can fight, and then we've dressed it up like a house so that it looks more fun than just gray box. But like a lot of community maps are made in the inverse, I think, where they're like, hey, we made this house. Especially a lot of the early community maps. It's like, we've made a house, look at this, it's a cool house. And then we put CT spawn here and T spawn here and a bomb site here. It's like, okay, so now I need to deal with all this. Lake?
Awesome map.
Awesome map. Awesome map. For all the wrong reasons.
For fun game modes, Lake is goated.
It's just like, so you could go up on the roof. Going up on the roof was the best thing.
It was.
I used to play, yeah. When you go like super wide out so they don't hear you stepping and then you come around. Like sometimes you could just full W all the way out in the courtyard. They don't even see you because of the fog. And then you come back around.
Anyway, we're wasting everyone's time with this. Let's get into...
I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Let's get into the few roster moves we have so we can all finally go to fucking bed. The Eternal Shuffle. Quack. What do you got for me?
JL is back to Navi's bench. His loan to Mouse is over. How would you rate his performance on Mouse?
Flat B-. Like he was serviceable, but nothing else really, to be honest.
No, he was fine. Where do you think he should go now? He did make clear that he is like back. He's going to be playing now. So he's looking for a team. It might be Mouse. It might be somewhere else. Where do you want him?
I want him on Mouse, really. Don't really think he works for Mouse in the long term. To be honest, I don't really know what Mouse are doing, so maybe he would. I don't know where I want him. I don't know if I want him anywhere. It's just I'll see where he ends up, and then I'll see, how I feel.
Can I throw my hat in the ring and say a phase rebuild? Does he have a spot there?
I guess by default, because it's hard to deny anyone a spot on a theoretical phase rebuild minus Frozen, likely. Where it's like you've got Twist and Brokey and Jacob. Now what?
Yeah. I think somebody in chat earlier said heroic for Susp.
No.
Alright, fine. We're moving on. OG, we touched on this earlier. They have replaced Aros Dodge with Prime Taps. With very small feet.
Yeah, they've gone from not great, Aros Dodge was just not great on this team, to a guy who's just genuinely just been kind of mid on almost every project except that BC game stint that he had. Like most of the time, Prime Tap has been fairly disappointing. I mean, he's a 107 on BC game. Like he's not exactly trash. Yeah. He was the second highest rated player. Yeah. Like, he was fine. Yeah. It's just he's nothing special.
Real ones remember him on the first stint in Big Academy, which was around the time of the first couple of We Play Academy team.
That Big Academy side was genuinely so bad.
Shout out to Glaved, Prime Taps, Aqua, and Nixej. And Lapex.
Genuinely horrendous.
Shout out to them one time. Let's say you're OG. Would you have made a different move?
This is a loan. This isn't their move, so I don't really know.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I can think of dozens of players who would be better than Prime Taps. Anyway, Fluxo have confirmed the previously rumored signings of Davideus and LTZ. So Fluxo
Yeah, we
are
already kind of
complete.
talked about this. LTZ is a complete unknown to me. Davideus, he's had moments where he's been really good. He's had moments where he's been disappointing, depending on which org he's been on. You know,
Good for this team. He's going to be good for this team.
he's definitely going to improve these guys, but
yeah,
what would that
he
be
should
worth?
rather. I mean, Lukowski's here, and he's a 103 in 10 months, so maybe he won't improve them.
Yeah. Maybe it's unimprovable. We don't know.
It's just over. Sangal, after loaning out Prime Taps, they benched Patsy and Clax, and now they have just Radix left on the active roster. So I think they put them up for transfer even. So Clax and Patsy. Patsy, a major semi-finalist at one point. Clax, probably the best player on the Sangal team up until this point. So where would you put them?
Rebuild, you boys. Like, find yourself a team and rebuild. Like, you're like, it's just they've gone so far downhill as a sort of set of players. And I'm not sure I really envision anything specific. You know what I mean? It's like when we're talking about the end of the Virtus Pro team and like Fame and Flit are now available. It's like form a mix and see what's what. I don't have anything to say about them.
That's fair. This is a funny one. Millennium, Georgian organization. Millennium with 2 N's, I've just realized, because Millennium is because it's supposed to have 1 N. That's the old French team with Fixio and Mistu and XMS and all these people. But no, this is Millennium with 2 N's. Georgian org, who have assigned a new roster randomly. HS, NiKo, Magila, Skace, and a Georgian guy called Space. A coach called Jakey.
Yeah, a very roundabout way, but Jakey. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I don't know
Very
what,
strange.
like, this feels like some sort of, like, joke someone wrote. It's like how they construct this counter team. Like, 2 Danes, a Georgian, a Lithuanian, and an Estonian walk into a bar. Like, how do you form this roster?
Yeah.
Like, who's talking to who? Who's hooking up, like, who? Like, who? Where does this... Who's having what conversations that end up here? Like, I don't understand this team. I also don't particularly rate it, because I don't know some of these players, and the ones I do know, I'm not impressed by, particularly. Like, this is a bit of a... You know, it's like the theory of just sign 5 Europeans. Just sign 5 Europeans and hope for the best.
Yeah. Millennium actually been around for a long time, apparently, it's org, because they are the only other mention they have in an HLTV news article is from the WESG 2016 Africa and Middle East regional finals, where for some reason their Georgian team played in the Turkish qualifier.
Well, that makes sense on proximity alone.
Yeah, but like for WESG, they were supposed to represent Turkey with 5 Georgian players.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, because they were like properly. It was like you had to be 5 players from the team. That's why you had like random. You had like Fnatic, and then you had Ukraine, which was like Navi -3 +3. But anyway, weird that they've been around for that long. Now they're back with this fucking thing. And finally, short shuffle today. Not quite as eternal.
Yep.
Odic, everybody's favorite Odic. They have 3 new players. Their names are Premium, Kerutera, and Riggy. Riggy we know, he's Argentinian. And a new coach called Locomotion.
Of course we know Riggy. Fuck is this? Like, this is the most random team. Like, we just went from a random team to a random team with Brazilian flags.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these dudes.
They're
They
here.
get a youth unknown. Like, I don't fucking know who these people are.
Odic Academy is where these 2 random Brazilian guys came from. So yeah, good luck to them. Riggy came from Crew. the Argentinian team. That's the shuffles. I think Gromov posted something about who m0NESY are practicing with, but that's just par for the course. Everybody who is below 17 and breathing is of interest to m0NESY for one reason or another.
Yeah, we'll see who they end up with. They'll probably end up being pretty good. Let's wrap up the show with our prospects of the week. It is sort of the end of the month. It's the final episode of the month, but I decided we'd do prospects and everything of the month next episode because we had all the viewer questions in this one. My prospect of the week is Slime. Slimers Rise Up, the original Danish AWPer I was overrating in all my prospects videos that members used to watch. But yeah, with State, this pretty weird Danish team, they went to Parken Challenger Championship and won the entire damn thing, beating in the grand final 100 Thieves, who have stolen now at least 100 paychecks, if I could guess, because they cannot even beat Slime, Quez, Xanto, Patty, and Thamlike. Clearly, 100 Thieves are making away like one, or five rather, six if you include Glaive, because the fuck's he doing as head coach? But no, more importantly, Slime did get his win. He was pretty fantastic in that grand final game in terms of his ratings as well, 150 something. But if you watched him play back in the day, you know he's a bit chaotic, creative is the way I like to call it. He tries repeaks, he tries fancy peaks, he tries complicated, difficult things. But when it works, it looks amazing. It looks just fun. I just enjoyed watching him play, and I'm glad he's here back on an AWP, especially because he was rifling briefly on a previous team. Back on the AWP and doing very well. Great run for Slime. MVP level at Parken. And hopefully we see a lot more of him in future.
Yep. I was going to pick Slime, but then you got him first. But I was thinking all day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go against my usual ways and pick the guy who beat Poi once instead of picking Poi. But no, you got there first, so Slime is your pick. So instead, just to spite you, I picked Wonder instead. He's had a great week with Lil Mix. Playing with them now. 122 rated over 10 maps in 4 series, I think. One of them was today. A win over G2 Ares with a 198 rated map. Yeah, waiting for this guy. You've been waiting for this guy to show his potential that everybody talks about. And this week he has played good.
Yeah, good number of Swedes have been like, oh, Wonder's actually really good. Wonder's pretty sick. And I'm always like,
yeah,
I'd like him to do that at some point, like actually play like a player who's pretty sick. And this is a nice start.
2 years ago, people were telling me that, like, oh, the actual like big brain take is that Wonder is actually better than m0NESY, even though m0NESY looks slightly better on Young Gods, and it's actually Wonder who's the better player. And how did that milk age? Like,
it aged well, like as you say, it's fine milk.
Yeah.
No, obviously no. But there's always that sort of movement that happens, that contrarian. Oh, actually, this guy's, because people want to feel smart, and because they know if they say that, they get to milk it if they're right, and if they're not right, no one's going to remember them anyway. So
yeah. Second best player on Spirit Academy is actually the support player, because this and this and this, yeah.
Yes, actually, yeah, Kyosuke wasn't the best player on Spirit Academy. It was Cypho all along. Speaking of members only video, Cypho prospects, go check it out. But yeah, that's all for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.